Yeah, so it's been a day or two since the last day, the last of the tournament, when you fought Keeley and were interrupted by Fei Hung, and then the barge itself had started to send ships that were full of explosives towards the tournament island. And Lil had flown over as a dragon, did a little Dracarys all over the boats, and then bit off the head of the witch.
So are the boats exploded at this point? I don't remember how that went.
Well, you just lit them on fire.
Right?
That barge sunk. They're out in the middle of the harbor right now. There's one little tiny bit of one mast that's kind of sticking above water.
We're just making a scuba diving park.
Yeah, or a monument. Anybody that fucks with us in Waterdeep.
And Waterdeep has had many boat sinkings out there. There's some famous ones, the Dawn Treader, that sort of thing. But
so that threat has been taken care of, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out.
For the moment. He went to a...
I'm sorry, you're asking about Fei Hung has been taken care of?
Yeah, like that whole threat with the boats and the explosives and...
I feel like you were the mascot for Tequila Run last time.
I might have been.
Yeah.
It might have been me.
Yes, taken care of. Fei Hung was shoved into a bag of devouring and sent to a random plane. The twins, however, his lieutenants, you're not sure where they ended up in the chaos.
Didn't they just give themselves up? Isn't that what happened once?
It's like Keeley beat him senseless, pretty much.
Oh, maybe he did. Okay, yeah. I don't remember. I might have made that up.
Yeah. Yeah, because while you were fighting Fei Hung, he was busy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You're a minor celebrity around town right now, EQ. And so people have, the boats are starting to depart. Oddly, it's kind of muggy right now in Waterdeep, but
I'm using my fan to fan away my smug.
Yeah, your smugness. Yeah, you hear people whistle. Kids run up beside you as you're walking down the streets. And Tekla too. She's also getting a bit of the celebrity treatment.
But he never finished the tournament. Like the tournament never was completed, right?
No.
This is EQ versus Keeley?
Yeah.
And you see him every once in a while. You see him a few times, and he gives you a look and a little bow as you walk past. And it seems like he has a few more disciples than he did before. Not just the one kid, but
he's got some drinking buddies.
Yeah, a number of them. Yeah. And right now they're examining the proper way to do shots, and so he slaps a bottle out of one guy.
I walk up to him and I say, "Give me one of them. I'll show you guys how to do that." Jugs out.
Right.
Jugs out.
Cheers. To our DM.
Does anybody want to do anything? I mean, it's kind of been leisurely. You have a bit of time off now that you didn't have before. There's nothing pressing unless you want to make it pressing. There's no tournament going on in the afternoon right now.
Do we check in and see how our woos and brews are selling and how our flower lays are selling from the flower shop?
Yes, you did. And I have a book in the car. I'll be right back.
Keys are in my purse.
Just take the purse if you want it.
Probably easier, isn't it?
That's what I do.
I think if we have enough, we should start opening another portal, if possible.
Yeah, I don't feel like we've really done much with our portal.
Well,
doesn't the lady,
Ravon wants
a portal in the Underdark
That's right.
Yeah, but we don't, eventually, I don't think that, but we don't really need a portal to the Underdark, and I'm sure she's not going to pay for her portal, but she is a lady, so maybe she has some money, maybe she could afford her. I was thinking maybe taking her to Sigil and seeing if she couldn't infiltrate and kind of be our spy in Kalon, because he's holed up in that. Last time we were there, I don't know. We'll see. I want to take her over there, show her how the portals work. I'm sure she's got money, so maybe, like I said, maybe she could afford a portal of her own that we could.
Hi. Hey.
I don't know. Hey, cool cool pants.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bad
cool
pants.
I do love my Batman pajamas. They're my favorite.
Yep.
Robin, do the bad pants.
Right.
Right?
I just don't want her thinking she can use every fucking lab that I have set up everywhere. So she needs to constrain herself to the fucking basement of the
That's fine.
flower shop.
That's fine.
Okay?
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I do think if I don't know, if she could. If Kaylon doesn't know her, right?
Right.
She knows all. He knows all of us.
So you want to use her in the plot?
She is the poisoner, right? She's a master poisoner, and Kaylon doesn't know who she is. So I thought maybe she would be a good one to be the, do the delivery of the poison. Maybe we could do some distraction or something, and she could. I don't know. I haven't really given it. I didn't think that much.
What does she get out of that?
Well, we take her over there. She's going to learn all. We're going to show her. We're going to introduce her to the glories of standing in line and getting applying for portals.
It's so glorious.
She won't bother herself with
I
that?
know.
Are we really
Yeah.
going to do that? Like, do we want to give her that much power? Should we maybe just buy a portal for her and then give it to her like middleman?
Oh, I'd rather have her pay for her own fucking portal and just put it wherever she wants. I don't care. Like, I don't want to be. I mean, are we really? I mean, the drow. Are you really that afraid of the drow? I mean, they did. I know.
The drow.
I know. There's bad blood there.
I mean, do you really want them to have portals anywhere they want? You've seen how dangerous they are.
Yeah, they got a soft side.
I just need a little love.
Softness for human flesh.
I also want to go see Silverhand and make sure and see what her read on the whole thing has been. Can we get audience with Lady Silverhand somehow? Can
Send a message to her.
Tequila, can you take me to Lady Silverhand?
I think so, right? Can I take him?
Well, you can go past the gate. I mean, I don't think you don't get a +1, but there might be another
my guard, my royal guard.
That might be something you can pass off, yeah. That's why we have deception checks.
Famous, right? I'm not just any chump off the street.
Both of you guys together. Not that I really need a bodyguard, but it's cool to have you. You know what I mean? Like
we are the two champions,
right?
Co-champions.
Yeah. So since the days of the day, it's been it's been a while, a couple days after the tournament. Life has settled down a little bit more to normal. Many dwarves have come and asked to buy you around, and you find a little celebrity status in Waterdeep now as the winner of the Styx tournament. So. You and EQ, and you walk down the street, so...
What do the books look like on Heather's question?
What?
The books?
12,000... Shinji's very excited to tell you Wookicks has done especially well. It looks like our profit for the tournament has been 12,623 gold pieces.
Wow.
From everything?
From everything.
Okay.
That's from Lay's and also Wookicks.
Who wants to keep track of the...
12,621?
12,623.
23.
Give or take a few expenses, of course.
Right.
Haven't done all the ledgers yet.
Of course.
And we split that 6 ways?
Well, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Like, what do we want to do with this money? Because we have these adventuring endeavors, and things to pay for. What if we just start a general fund with that?
Well, and part of it is the dojos, and part of it is the flower shop. So
right,
that has to be.
Well, what if we use it for Waterdeep stuff, like stuff to improve our Waterdeep presence or our casa or something that we hate about Waterdeep?
They cost us 10,000 for a portal before.
No, we're right. Portals.
What if we get ourselves a portal to Seven Peaks? So we don't have to walk to Seven Peaks anymore, or
cool.
Like some other place that we need.
That we go often.
Yeah. That we feel like we. I mean, if we do want to have access to that black market, maybe we make it to the black market.
Right, with a really secure key.
Right. Yeah. Right. Unless we want people to come into the flower shop, right? We're just out of the black market, right? Like that's where the portal emptied into, right? Like exit through the gift shop. Isn't that what we did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're branding the booze and brews too.
I remember they said a portal had to originate from Sigil to someone.
Right.
So the treehouse is our portal hop.
The treehouse has to be the hub, so you would have to go from
okay.
flower shop to the treehouse.
My question is, can you have multiple portals off of one portal? Right? Do you use separate keys to go to, or
that
is
might
there
be
multiple?
a question for Higgins.
Okay, all right. Well, we obviously need to go to Sigil because I have some questions, but I'd like to see Lady Silverhand before we do that.
Well, yeah. Where do we want a portal? It sounds like there's
okay.
And don't you have new business here in town? Like, were you gonna try and take over that? What the fuck was the
Emerald Enclave?
Well, yeah, we had because there was that old building, the building that we ported into. We should go start setting that up.
Yeah.
Putting some people in there.
Yeah. What was that called?
It had a name, did it? Did it have a name?
It was the keeper. Was it the keeper?
Oh, you are. Yeah, you have a title for sure.
Yeah, you're the keeper.
I eventually want to lay siege to that underground near the water over.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I would like to talk to the Silverhand about what the goings on under the city and
So, how do you want to get an audience with Silverhand? Do you want to go up there with Tekla and
or have her meet me at the dojo? Can I have her meet me at the dojo? Or,
send her a note.
Yeah, out on the dock like we do our little rendezvous spot.
Right.
Send a praying mantis.
Get Woo to make some cakes.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you send a note off.
Okay.
All right.
Praying mantis.
You want to send a praying mantis?
Yeah.
Okay.
That totally works.
That's a second level spell, animal messenger. But yes, you can send it off.
I just like it.
I mean,
no, I get it. I get it. It's a signature. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Are they always successful?
Unless they get killed. But the great thing about them is they don't. You're not giving them to somebody else that's going to read your message or something like that. So there's a more security and privacy with it, and they travel a greater distance, and they're free. Most messengers, the courier surface, right?
Right.
Second level spell's not free.
Yeah, but it's okay.
This is this level. Fuck, wait, can't you cast 12 level spells now or something? Or can you cast Tidal Wave now or something?
Yeah, I can actually.
I have a Waterdeep song. I don't know Waterdeep song.
Okay, so you go down to the dojo to wait for Silverhand to show up. Anybody else want to do anything? Any business to take care of?
Doing it.
I want to personally thank Woo and give him
Did you leave it upstairs?
I did.
Oh.
Hi, buddy.
Some time off. Give Woo some time off. Let him.
Okay.
We slow down production.
Rest and recover and.
Well, and he's at the dojo now. He's kind of left to the confines of the basement flower shop. And he's, you find him, he's like half passed out, almost on rail top.
Right. I put a cover on. Good man. It's still just a mess. Yeah, right.
In Woo's area, yeah. It's still cleaning up the aftermath of the
somebody cast, isn't there like a spell you can cast that
revive.
Prestidigitation or
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that one. That was not one of my tricks, but
that's awesome.
Thank you. Fucking rollerblades.
The word prestidigitation makes me think of bed knobs and brooms.
Of course.
That's all I can ever think. Like you say that, and I see like little marching clothing.
Right.
Substitute. She gave every little commotion.
I'm not the only one. That's great.
Oh wow.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Fucking love bed knobs and brooms.
Me too. I gotta watch that with my kid. Yeah, right. It's so fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
They play soccer on the island of Boom Boom and
so
shit.
good.
There's cartoon animals and shit.
And when they're dancing under the oceans.
No.
Same thing. Except
But
it's
the same
animated.
style.
Like
Oh, yeah.
There's the lion and they're playing polo.
they bring the suits of armor to life at the end to fight the Nazis and shit.
Right.
And she's
That's
a Lansbury and she's a witch and she adopts these kids.
It's
It's
fucking awesome.
amazing.
Portobello Road and all that.
Yeah.
It's so great. So great.
The fish under the sea.
Right, I think that might be the second part.
Right. Now it's
Yeah, she enchants the bed knob, and then when he puts it on the bed, then it can travel.
They can fly.
That's cute.
Does Leo want to do anything?
She can't ride a broomstick.
Does she kind of heat
Right.
it?
Hilarious.
That's right. It is a great movie.
She is
Bed knobs and broomsticks.
just not in the know with what she can really do yet.
Okay.
Like I should do something. But
I mean, do you have any items that you found you'd like to know what they do, or is there anything that you're curious about? Or
let's see what I got. What did I write down?
Lil, same question to you.
What's that?
What do you want to do right now? Any business you want to take care of? Any, Oh, you little bastard.
I know I have my arrow of beast slaying, and I have to roll to get it back. And now I can also detect disease, poison, poisonous creatures. You guys,
Upstairs a bit.
coat one splashing.
Tally, anything you want to do?
I want to revivify my frost wand for the 4 slots that I spent doing whatever I did with it last week.
Yes, it's fully charged. There's been a couple days between, you guys took a day of rest basically.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
things have gotten back to normal. The harbor is starting to empty out. There's way less people in the streets. You're not being woken up in the morning from the crowds. Go ahead.
I would like to put the sleep poison in my finger. I keep forgetting to do that.
Okay.
Have you ever used your finger yet?
You load the cartridge.
No,
Brought it up.
one.
We
Yeah,
brought
you've
it up
used it.
last time too as an option.
Yeah, and then I forgot to load it. So I did that.
Okay.
And I did it. Can I know that?
Tekla, anything you want to do?
I don't remember my spells I can do. Oh, awesome.
Anything Tekla wants to do?
I'm gonna talk to Woo about some recipes that I've been thinking about. For
Okay.
other uses for other kinds of seafood that is like being caught in the bay.
You have something specific in mind?
I was thinking that I don't know what is being caught. You know what I mean? I know that there was an extensive amount of crab, right? And that's why
Yes.
he's doing crab cakes.
Yes.
But I'm sure there's other things being caught too. And so I was thinking maybe we would collaborate
You've seen,
on
yeah, oysters.
recipes or
Oysters seem
something.
to be very popular in the Woo Cakes mix. Other shellfish, shrimps. He doesn't use a surprising amount of fish actually, but
Interesting.
yeah.
I think shrimp tacos would be amazing. That should be a thing.
Woo tacos. Woo tacos.
I do like tacos.
Right. Nice. A little bit of cabbage on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Agree,
yeah.
Taylor. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to shake him awake to talk to him about it.
I mean, first I congratulate him on how great everything's going and talk him up a little and then.
Right. He hands you the flask that
Drink
he's
with it.
drinking out of. Yeah, right. Woo doesn't speak much. You've heard him speak on occasion, but he mostly grunts.
But we can body language and charisma talk each other.
Right. Well, what are you trying? What do you want to say? I want tacos.
I'm gonna share with him some recipes that I've been thinking up. So I've got all those cooking skills, but I never use them really. But
Okay.
I figured that me and Woo could collaborate a little on some delicious spicy shrimp tacos.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm so bad at persuasion though. Do I get any bonus if I get him drunk first?
He was drunk when you found him. He's burning off his last. He didn't sleep. Woo was on it.
Glad to see you awake.
16.
A 16.
Yeah, not bad.
He looks at you, and at first he looks, I'm not taking notes right now. You're reading his body language, but the more you're describing these things, the more he's intrigued a little bit. You mentioned
I'll make them for
cilantro and a little bit of lime and things, and
Right, let me make you some. You're hungry, right? Right. So I have him show me where the shrimp might be.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, he has big barrels with different ingredients. That's different acolytes bring to him.
Sweet.
And so there's shrimp right now. The crabs are a bit low, but shrimp and oysters are quite a bit in supply. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like, I take a bunch of the shrimp and do you want me to write down the recipe?
If you,
I can think. I imagine I can make up a recipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, make something up, and then we'll go from there. You're cooking right now. That's what you're doing right now,
Okay.
and you find Wu's setup to be very practical. Not that different from dwarven setups. Nice big open flame, a little griddle to cook your stuff on, and an open part. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yum.
Tally, anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to check the progress of our manufacturing or our propagating the mushrooms and the crystal water at the flower shop.
Okay.
And then I'd kind of like to spend an afternoon walking on the shore of the bay, seeing if I can find any potion ingredients.
Okay. And as you walk into the spore room, like your chest tightens up a little bit. It's heavy. You can smell mold. And there's almost these fully grown myconoids, which were the beings you had met before in the Underdark. There's these very tall mushroom-like things that are almost fully formed and ready to start taking steps. And there's two of them that look like they're almost ready to,
go to work or
do whatever. Yeah, do whatever. So, and then you it looks like there's another. You could collect enough crystal water right now for another potion.
Okay.
Give that to Josh.
Could I have gone with her and identify these mushroom beasts to see if they're poisonous?
No.
They're. I'll let them explain it to you,
Okay.
but there's something they've encountered before.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No, these are allies that we met when we were in the Underdark. And they're here to propagate themselves and go. Then we are tasked with taking them out into the world and expanding their species view of the world, because they've been living in the Underdark in a cave forever.
Well, they're cordyceps. They're all together. They're all one entity. They're like a.
And so, and in return, they help us with this crystal water that they need in order to propagate. And the crystal water is a potion ingredient, so we're all working in synergy with one another.
Got it.
And so are the acolyte mushroomoids that were sent to help us still there, working away madly and proud of their accomplishment?
Did you want this?
The acolytes? You mean from the dojo?
No, didn't the mushroom people send a couple of?
We just had spores.
You just had spores that have been growing and growing and growing, larger and larger and
I
larger.
thought we got a couple of them to come with us. Didn't
Yes, I think they sent a couple,
I
and
thought
we were
they
going to
did.
send
No, we
them.
had a little handful of the spores.
Yeah, you had a
we
handful.
asked a couple of them if they wanted to come back with us, and I thought we convinced a couple of them to. We did. We asked them. Do you remember this, Tekla?
I starkly remember that very different.
The mushroom people. We asked a couple to come back with us,
Yeah, I remember. We planted them basically, and we've been watering them and hanging out with them, and
but we asked them with the
Cultivating
dudes to
them.
come back.
No, we just had.
no, they were
gave
just
us-
babies.
Yeah, we were gonna grow them, and then they were gonna. Now we've grown
And
them,
they
and now
sent a couple of guys, a couple of grown mushroomoids
That's what I
to help us set up the
shop.
system.
Yeah,
because
that's
they
what
know how to set up the system.
That's
And in
No, because you guys were in Seven Peaks and you had to send the mushrooms back to Waterdeep, and I remember you put it in a package, and it was just a dirt with spores in it.
I'm assuming that the mushroomoids just came with us as their own entities.
We asked them. I remember asking them. I
Yes,
know
but
what
they
you're
couldn't.
talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but I remember it. I remember he gave you just the spore
and said no.
and said no. They have to stay within their little area.
Okay.
Who's got that one?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to that again because I really remember that differently.
Live by the yam.
I remember like you remember. I don't remember them coming with us.
Yeah, I remember them not.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But it looks like one or two of them are about to, that they're forming into these creatures from the spores that you've had.
Okay. Ooh, how big are they?
Tall now, they're over 5 feet, between 5 and 6. There's 2 of them.
So they just kind of emerge like young adults or something?
Yeah, you've been watching this mushroom thing kind of grow. And some grow into large mushrooms. Some of the spores have grown into larger mushrooms, and then but 2 of them have grown into these forms that have ended up taking the shape of humanoids that you saw before.
Okay.
Yeah. I can show you a picture. Anybody want a picture?
Well, we have to introduce ourselves.
They're not sprouted quite yet.
Okay.
But any day now, you're
Well, who's gonna watch this? We gotta assign somebody to keep watch, right?
That's what the acolytes have been doing, right? Like we've had all the.
Yes.
That's part of the training. We've got.
So they can watch the mushrooms.
Yeah, they're
they
tending the
can
shop.
come to,
Yeah, totally.
So I want to find whoever the acolyte around is and just alert them to be especially mindful of those mushroomoids because they are about to become sentient and we need to be right on them.
Teach them our ways.
It's sentient.
Right, what?
Right. You mean they're gonna talk?
We'll see.
If you don't fuck it up.
Maybe they're telepaths.
Right.
EQ, you're out on the dock. Make a nature check, Tally, as you make your way down to the beach.
Nature check.
I'll take investigation if you'd rather do that.
I thought it was survival.
Oh, yes, then survival.
Okay, I'll do survival.
EQ, you're standing out on the deck, or the dock.
6.
And Silverhand is walking down the dock towards you with her handmaid and a couple of guards behind her.
I want to have some of the pixie mead
brought out to you.
Well, just ready.
Ready.
You know?
Okay. Chilled.
Yeah, chilled.
Right. EQ. I see you haven't made a complete hash of this. I do have to admit, I've heard it. And she has a couple of other people you haven't seen before in tow. One of them's an older man with a white beard, and then a younger gentleman that's got like a weird cropped face and short, very, very short hair. And they both dressed really rich, fine silks.
Well, I offer them all some of the mead.
Mm-hmm. And they introduce themselves. Hello, yes, we're part of the Merchants Council. I suppose we have you to thank.
Oh, for all of the...
Our coffers have been overflowing. The tournament was quite successful.
Well, good. Well, it almost was a disaster, which is kind of why I wanted to talk to you. Right.
Well, because Silverhand's like looking, and you can see her lips are like a little, tightly pressed together, and gotcha. She does not seem like she had the same opinion of the tournament.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Okay.
Well, perhaps a little bit less chaos next time.
Hey, you're right. Chaos does follow me a little bit, but hopefully I think it's been dealt with.
I have to tell you, many of the lords, I especially almost lost my seat to Lord Coyle during this whole thing.
I was wondering, I was going to ask you about him. He seemed like a shady character.
He's been a thorn in my side for years.
Still? What happened? How'd you almost lose your seat?
The nobles were growing fearful of only having control of a third of the city. Decided maybe a change in leadership would be something that they needed to do.
But that didn't happen? Is it still a threat?
She says there was a vote. But I did prevail in the end.
And what became of Lord Coyle?
So I suppose he went to his country manor house to lick his wounds, but he's never gone long.
Okay. And what is he lord of? Is he a merchant? Is he a...
Yes, he owns many of the taverns and establishments in town, and also the property, Lord of Waterdeep, and quite a number, many of boats and ships.
Okay.
Is anybody here with him, or is it just EQ by himself?
I believe Tekla is there, but she's talking to Wu.
Okay.
If you're not doing something... What did you roll, Tally?
13.
I made one.
gotta think about oysters a little bit now.
I've never cooked oysters.
On a beach in the harbor. You find a water essence, which is you find a piece of seaweed that's like glowing with a little mana in it. Looks like it would be great to use in a potion.
Thank you. Is it like on the shore? Is it growing? Is it a place that I could mark with my Outlander skill and come back and harvest?
Regularly?
Excuse me?
That you could harvest regularly?
Yeah, periodically.
Yeah, I mean, it might. Maybe not this plant. I mean, you know, some of these things are rare occurrences in nature, and a confluence of like nature and magic. Yes. What? The bird?
Yeah.
Does he want to fly?
He looks like he's about to.
Yeah. But they do. It does look like there's other places in the harbor where some of these essences would grow. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you could find more in the harbor, yes, but maybe not this specific spot.
Okay,
Right.
perfect. Thank you.
You get to run around and loot. That's cool.
That is cool.
I'm trying to make it like a video game,
That's
right?
great.
Like,
Totally. I saw it. Like that's great. I was like, oh.
Do your dailies, do your dailies.
Totally out there.
What-
Mats.
What else was Lil doing? You were just doing your finger?
I was loading my finger with poison, yes.
Sounded awfully good.
And then Leo, I need to know what you're doing this time. Just target practice? Practicing your arrow? Are you tending the flowers? Are you wandering around the Batcave and getting yourself familiar with the place?
Yeah, right. You can find yourself a spot down there in the Batcave where you, I don't know, where you can.
I'm gonna go to my office and check on the Emerald Enclave
circle?
happenings. Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any notes for me? Anything going on?
Yeah, actually, there's a small note
Okay.
slipped under the door.
What does it say?
Very elegant handwriting.
I pick it up, read it. Wait, am I in the office? Like I entered and then I saw it, or was it outside?
No, it slipped under the door, so you had to enter the door.
Okay.
Estefan's own office, which you have taken over now.
Okay.
And it's just a small note, and it's sealed with wax. You open it up, and it's very elegant handwriting on it. And it says, "Beware the weather. It's awfully warm this time of year." And you haven't noticed, it's quite muggy. I mean,
It's awfully warm this time of year.
yeah.
Does it have any? Can I inspect it to see if I can? Do I notice the writing or something about the paper or anything that might give away who would have left this note? The wax on it.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Hang on.
Are you gonna make these next week or something?
That
Because
sounds pretty good, right?
they sound fantastic.
Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Is that the recipe?
Served hot with a napkin and a margarita.
Done. I don't know. I feel like that kind of needs your hour. Just saying.
That would be fun.
A cooking check. What is a cook? I mean, I will take performance.
But I have
Sleight of
I have
hand.
cookware and all that, and I've been,
Yeah.
so.
So we'll.
I don't have very good sleight of. Well, yeah, I do because I've got high dexterity.
Okay, I'll take sleight of hand. I would take that. I would take performance. What do you roll?
15.
15? There seems to be some sort of like
So a
thin-
natural 20.
Nice.
Bam.
Those are supposed to happen.
You did write out the recipe.
He looks skeptical as he takes one from you, and then he like takes a bite, and you see him chew, and then he just looks really happy, and he like starts stuffing around, and like he gives him a big hug, and like, and he like he starts, he wants you to teach him how to make them.
Right, I show him how to make them, and then
Okay.
I explain to him that I haven't really had a lot of experience with oysters, but that I'll play around with them for a while and figure out something.
Okay, all right. And so, and like he's and as you're showing him, he starts yelling. He throws a ladle at one of the other initiates.
Oh my God.
And he brings them all over to watch you, give like a tutorial on how to make wu tacos. There's a small like sort of film that's on the edge of this, almost like a maybe not a film, but it looks like there's some writing there, but you can't see it. It looks like it was written in clear.
Like hidden secret writing.
Spooky.
Okay. I take the note and I put it in my...
Put lemon juice on it.
Okay.
Hold it up to the
Tally's not there, so you have no
not
clue
there,
what
but
to do.
I'll see Tally and show her the note, and then she can probably do that.
If you put lemon juice on it and then you pass it over a flame, the letters should pop up.
Oh wow, that's cool. Okay.
You guys need the little earrings. You can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I want to look around my office. Is there anything out of place, or how does it?
Make a perception check.
Anything else going on?
I'm making a list.
Perception 22.
No.
18 came on me. That's not right. Hold on. Oh, that's right.
No, actually, it looks
24.
It looks very in place.
Okay.
Like nobody's been in here.
Okay.
So, are you setting up an office in here? I mean, is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah. Didn't I already do that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I didn't.
We just talked about it.
Yeah. Is that cool, everybody?
You did tell Elena this is where she could meet you.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
that.
what I remember.
Yes,
okay.
but you haven't been in here doing anything. There's this large fireplace where Kalon first took you to Sigil.
Okay.
That's in this room. It's not a very big place. It's just almost like a studio, just an office with a big fireplace. Large desk. Estevan likes his very large desk. He has one in his manor house.
Esteban's office.
Right.
Is it dusty?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to clean it up.
Okay. All right. Leah?
So, I think I need to do some training with my arrows
Okay.
because I'm really good.
Okay.
As you guys have all seen already, I just kind of came in arrows blazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm good is because I train.
Right.
And I have this new arrow of beast slaying.
Yes.
So I need to...
Do you know what that does?
Yeah, so... Okay, DC 17, Constitution saving, 6 die 10 damage. I have to roll to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could come in.
6 die 10?
On a beast, if it fails its saving throw, she does an extra 6 die 10 damage on it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Maybe you could go
insane.
train some of my initiates, but if you're doing target practice, maybe you could do it at the dojo and dude could watch you. And
We could do that.
You could like.
That's a good place to practice down there. I mean, you'd have the space. The flower shop isn't an alley. You could set up something
Right.
there, but you'd like your initiates to learn archery?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So,
Teach him scatter arrow.
Ding. Yeah, right.
Right.
Unless it makes that sound.
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
you got it.
So EQ, perhaps next year I had to convince the nobles that we would have overflow visitors and tourists outside the city walls.
I could see that setting up some exterior expansion. I definitely could see the benefit of that. I didn't realize it was going to be this.
And perhaps raising a militia beforehand. So, and I'm not sure about your associates from the south. They were quite destructive.
That was very unexpected. None of us were expecting that. But like I said.
And what is this I hear about explosions?
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, like the whole island almost went up.
I did see the large flames. Was there? I heard reports of a dragon.
A dragon? That sounds awfully.
Cool.
Make a deception
Very
check.
cool.
Shit. Deception, Mario. 17?
She raises an eyebrow, and like the corner of her lip starts to smile, and you get the feeling like she knows you're, not withholding the truth, not necessarily lying, but maybe withholding.
Yeah, I give her like the knowing, like maybe we don't talk about that in front of these people that you don't seem to be too comfortable in front of.
Right. And they do.
Right.
They're just fidgeting in the background because nobody's talking to them anymore. One of them clears his throat. So perhaps we could team up next year, and we could have, not only maybe we can make the woo cakes at one of our establishments.
Are you saying you would like to purchase a franchise?
Yes.
A franchise?
What is this? Franchise.
Is your man for hire? Will he come work?
No. That's our man. That's Wu keeps the dojo strong, and the integrity. It keeps us all strong and nourished. Like, you see those Wu. You saw the strength of the Wu cake,
right? And you see the other nobles like peering back down the dock at Wu. Wu and Tequila are putting on a little show back there of cooking, and like he's giving it like a real contemplative eye.
You just wait. We have more products coming. You're welcome to buy all the Wu cakes that you want. We will I'll gladly sell them to you. I might even be able to
at a discount, I'm assuming.
Well, it depends on the amount you'd like to buy. Right? Like the more you buy, the deeper the discount, right?
Right. Depends on the crowd size.
We just made money. What do you have?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like you seem very excited about this, and I don't know, like we will be training other initiates. Maybe that's something we could work on. Maybe we could hire you out a chef from the Wu Academy.
School of Wu.
The Wu Academy. Wu Academy?
Yes. Oh, you haven't heard of it?
I have not.
Oh, well. Shows you some noble you are.
Preposterous.
Well,
They just want a Wu cake installation in their part of the city.
that's fine, and they can have a Wu cake like establishment in their part of the city, but they're going to have to, you can't.
I agree. No, I totally
You can't just say, you can't just like buy the name, right? You gotta have to buy the Wu cakes, right?
That's bigger than a licensing agreement.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. See, I worked for this guy, right?
To protect the product.
Right, and he had these special stilts, these stilt walking stilts, and you would not there was a patent on the stilts, and if you wanted his stilt walkers. His stilts, you had to buy his stilt walkers too, right? You couldn't just get the stilts, you had to hire us all.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's cool.
So
Smart.
That's the way I feel about it. We've got a product here that everybody wants, right? So
are you discussing this openly in front of them?
Yes. Oh yeah. Totally. I have no. Yeah. I'm not a business person. I'm not here to. I'm not a hand wringer or a backdoor deal guy, right? You know what I mean? What I will do is to say that I know that the Wu cakes are good. I just want to keep the quality control.
It's good for our crew.
Yeah, I know. We don't want to expand too quickly. We don't want to get too crazy.
So Tally, at this point, you've kind of come back to the dojo as you make your way through the harbor, and you're seeing there's a little conference going on at the end of the dock. Lil, you kind of arrive at the dojo too. Leo, you're in the front courtyard. Tekla's there, of course. Terry's learning a new instrument from one of the dojo members.
Flute?
Yeah, the long one. The real long one.
Yeah, right.
How many people are learning archery in the dojo?
How many bows do you have? That would
I
be
only
the question.
have that one, but I have I feel like my
Plenty of
quiver
arrows.
is.
There's only about 6 bows and arrows. The dojo mainly up to this point has trained hand to hand. And I don't know if you remember this, EQ, but during their turn to give a performance in the grand tournament, because every one of the dojos they did a little performance of the martial art. You guys were terrible. Ooh. It was embarrassingly terrible.
With the bows?
No.
That's right. We did it right. We did right.
Overview.
Can I have a second?
It was very sloppy. Yes.
So it kind of brings us back to the first question that we never answered, which is what do we want to do with the 12,000 gold that we got from our endeavors? Because I could see taking some of that money and buying.
Well, hold on. Let's finish this conversation on the dock real quick.
Okay.
And then discuss
supplies for the dojo.
Right. What I'm trying to say is if anybody would like to join this conversation on the dock, you all are within walking distance to do that.
And this is the conversation about
I'm talking with Silverhand and the other nobles of Waterdeep.
About the Wu cakes right now.
Right now, well, yeah. And
then everything else.
And yeah. The future of the tournament. And
Right.
I'd like to go up there.
Yeah. I'm very interested in your academy.
I'd like to step forward.
Mm-hmm. So you guys come up, and the guards kind of they place their hands on their weapons, but they do back off the sides of the dock and let everybody pass by.
I bring a couple of shrimp tacos with me.
Oh shit.
Nice.
So, gentlemen.
I hand EQ a shrimp taco. and the guy he's talking to.
Okay.
You're getting a preview of what's to come. So this is why we don't just give out
No silverware, hand food. What?
That's what the future of street food is.
Think about it. Think about how convenient it is.
Fair food.
Convenient. While you're wandering around the street.
And not wasteful because you even have a napkin afterwards. And
It's improper. That's all.
It feels good sometimes to be messy.
Yes, but let me try this taco. And you rolled a 20 for your check, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, he's starts shaking his head. He's looking at the other noble. Yes, this is fantastic. I had one of the woo cakes. My servants brought me one, but this is.
Woo cakes are bomb.
We keep trying to improve, see, so that's why you can't just willy-nilly give out the woo recipe.
Because now we have tacos.
But this did become if you could supply a kitchen perhaps during the tournament, because that was one of the issues that we had, was that we ran out of space.
Double production.
And what stakes would we get for providing a kitchen?
You could they could probably like me. I liked your idea of a certification. Like they could have one of their trainees come and get a certification from you that said that they could make them. They were certified to make them or whatever, and they were official woo cakes.
Yeah, but then they could just teach that to somebody else.
That's why I think
they had to sign a contract saying they wouldn't teach anybody else,
they get a percentage of whatever we make at their kitchen.
But what if?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think there's that, or like I said before, we have trainees. We could hire out our trainees. You want one of our chefs, you have to pay for one of our chefs to come to your establishment and set it up and oversee
The kitchen.
And then
makes sense. I like that.
And then do we get all the profits then from the production?
you have to pay the room and board of the chef, and he is going to have a certain requirement for a pay requirement, and then you can keep 70% of the profit.
So we get 30%?
Yeah.
For one guy?
For the name. You get brands. Right.
You have to supply the kitchen, all the supplies, and it has to meet our quality standard.
That's quite a proposal.
Dang.
Of course, we'll have to present it to the merchant.
Yeah, of course, and we're open to negotiation. This isn't a hard thing. Have some more mead.
It's like
I will indeed. Can I get another one of those woo tacos?
Yeah, and you have to have like $1 million in the bank.
Yeah.
Yes, Hal?
And perhaps we could provide a couple of acolytes to go along with the chef from the dojo
There you go.
as trainees, and also to keep the process in-house.
Yeah. That's what I think. Guard
You
the
could have
recipe.
the prep guys or something, but I think the actual putting together we need to keep in-house.
Oh, like have it be like pre-made? Like they leave and then they come in there or something?
No.
Or we just we staff their kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have to pay the staffing fee.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think
What would
at
the
that
staffing
point,
fee?
then I think like 25 or 30% is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
This is
How much would the staffing fee be?
on top of the 30%.
Well, I guess it depends on how many woo cakes you guys are slinging, right? Like, we'll have to sit down.
I own many bars and brothels out on the harbor.
Oh. Well, why don't you start with one? Let's start with one and see how.
Well,
My establishments would be a great place for a woos and brews.
The possibilities are freaking endless.
How do we get more
Look at it
tacos
that
on the
way.
scene?
yeah.
Because then you have two items, the two top selling tacos and
Well, I feel like the menu
original woo
is just getting started. Like we're just getting the tip of the iceberg with with the woos and the tacos.
up to the big picture.
Perhaps I will get our counselors together, and you also, and we should meet for formal negotiations.
I agree. This is we're just talking loosely right now. I'm just like I said, we
Brainstorming.
had no idea this was even going to be a thing, so that was just off the top of my head. So let's get together and have a formal meeting about this. Because yes, I could totally see booze and brews all along the harbor. I like it. under a fan.
Even in different towns, it would be great to branch out and like have them everywhere.
With booze and brews on it, so everybody knows it's brought to you by the Shadow.
And indeed, I do appreciate your all of your eye for entrepreneurism. My name is Lord Rothram.
Lord Rothram.
And my partner here is quite silent.
And again,
Lord Gregoria.
I do feel like I should apologize for the influx of people. I had no idea that this was going to be as... I expected it to eventually ramp up and be, a thing, but I kind of thought this would just be a battle of the in-town masters. I had no idea this was going to expand like it did, which is another thing I'd like to talk with guys about.
Good for tourism. I'm sure many will come to find our port now. Many ships will... The word will go out.
That's what we're all hoping for, right? That's what we're all hoping for. A little expansion here, so...
The Silverhand speaks up. She says, "Enough, boys. I grow tired of this business."
Okay, you're right.
Have you? And she looks over at Lord Rothram and Lord Gregoria, and she says, "Have you two had your say?" And they say, "Yes." And they kind of both bow to her, and then they kind of, obviously he doesn't want to stop talking, but he makes his way back down the dock.
Lord Rothram, and who was the other one?
Gregoria.
Rothram.
Gregoria.
5 minutes. Yeah, and Silverhand says those two were the deciding vote, and my vote of no confidence, and later told me I had to. They wanted to meet you. That was the only way they would vote for me.
How do you think that went?
As well as.
Are they there now, or are they gone?
They're gone. They have walked back to the deck. So.
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
I think when we make our presentation, one of the first things we should do is commit a certain percentage of whatever we make from the woo cakes and the booze and brews and all of that to a fund that to a percentage that we donate to the council for the improvement and the maintenance of Waterdeep.
Yeah, expansion. Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Clean up and expansion. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Build the city.
Well, and we'll cover that. That'll be another meeting. We'll have a meeting about the expansion of the tournament. Yeah, right.
I don't want to be the only one thinking about it.
Well, right, and then Rothram and Gregoria kind of got dismissed by Silverhand. So, I just would next time the safety of the city. I think needs to be more of a concern. And I understand you left right before the tournament and didn't come back until the eve.
I'm a very busy guy. But I get around quick. Usually. It was this last, admittedly, that was a weird one. The time didn't, it's hard to explain. Time didn't move the same way.
Yeah, you're there if you want to say something.
I hope that you know that the safety of the city was the top concern, which is why we did not partake in the last tournaments.
Many of the nobles did not feel safe. You did not partake in the tournaments?
No.
What were you doing?
We were out finding the explosives that the barge in the bay had brought in and that they were trying to use to blow up the city.
Are you aware of the Zarthur? What the fuck are they called? The Xanathar? The Xanathar.
Of course.
Okay.
They had a plot to destroy the city and we were able to stop them.
With the bloody beholder. Did you know there was a beholder living under the city?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, well,
yes.
The rumors were true.
And
I stress the were.
I was going to go handle that part of the dangerous Waterdeep, but my magic wouldn't work against him. It seemed quite a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
They took care of it for you.
It was ugly, for sure.
I must warn you, there's been many rumors of undead under the city these days. The Xanathar Guild has seemed to... its members have been dispersed. You might find them in the bars in the cities, but they no longer are taking solace underground.
Oh, they're kind of pushed out?
Yeah.
Huh. Is this something you're concerned about?
I'm always concerned. But sometimes rumors are just that, rumors.
Well, I hope you know that the city is our top concern, just like it is yours.
This has kind of become a home to us. So, yeah, we definitely...
We're invested.
Are you telling the truth or deception? Or is it?
No, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I put my dojo. This is my dojo is here. Like.
I'm a lady of the Emerald Enclave. I'm
The keeper.
the keeper.
Right, we're
For the
keeping
city. For
Do you tell her that?
yeah, I have to tell her
Do you
that.
say that? She raises an eyebrow. The keeper.
Yes.
I worked well with the last of your kind.
Oh, good.
Is
I hope
Elena
that we
still
can
around?
work well. Is who?
Elena's still around. She was the old woman that you met that was just tiny.
The gray eyes with the milky eyes and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. She's very, very old.
Let her know that we should meet for tea sometime.
I will tell her if she's this way again.
Anything else you would like to discuss?
Is there anything else I would like to discuss with you, Lady Silverhand?
the possibility of. Well, we don't. Oh, she cares. She doesn't care. We'll just say that.
Sure.
I don't know. Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
She looks back and forth between both of you.
Spit it out. Don't make me look like you're crazy.
What about like her idea that she's splitting the power in thirds? I didn't get that. Why does she think you have like a third of the power of the city?
Oh, the thing that's the part they control, right? And then there's the docks, right, which they have no real control over. And then what's the other third?
Well, the middle part where their market is and like all the shops and things like that.
And the nobles thought she was losing control of it?
During the tournament, you couldn't go down. There was no law down at the harbor, right? There was the city itself, and they had to get a militia. Only controlled about a third of it up to the nobles district, and then the rest of it was basically a free for all.
I see. So
London in the 1800s, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to get initiates from all the different dojos to
Promise
be.
that to her for next time.
Yeah, to be oversee. We'll have our own little in-house militia. Everybody can partake if they want to partake, and
Just make sure order is.
yeah, just keep order.
Early security force.
Security,
Yeah.
right, bouncers.
Yeah.
They don't.
She can assure
And I think a volunteer
Everybody.
organization of all the dojos would be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Keep us all united.
Well, I tell it to Silverhand. We'll bring that up to the other masters.
That would be nice to hear. Well, I will take my leave now.
Thank you for meeting with us, and
I always appreciate the mead and the wutako. Right.
Ready for
And
it?
she walks off as the sun starts. Tally, you're back.
I'm back. I'm back.
So let's start again. You guys are all standing out on the dock. The sun is setting. You got Wu tacos in your hand and a little bit of pixie mead.
I just want to take this moment to thank you guys for helping put on such a great fucking tournament and making Woo Cake such a success and the flower shop. And let's all fucking have a drink.
Alright.
Yeah.
Endeavors. Successful.
Here, here.
Tequila Run.
Drugs out. Tequila Run, people.
Tequila Run.
It's a family.
Family.
Family. Cheers, Kitty.
Cheers.
Chosen tribe.
So what's next?
Like the band cake? Well,
Yeah, always.
I don't know. Where do we go? We did have a drunken idea the other night. I don't know how serious we were about it. Which I wrote
Which one?
in my note to EQ. See if you remember this.
Well,
Thierry.
it could be. I think it could. On our, I think we need. I don't know. We need to get some other stuff taken care of first. But like we talked about, I don't know.
You can't say it. Is it
Do you
that
remember
bad?
this?
Is it that bad? What?
You hella just proliferated like that whole like you just like
terraforming the Grey Waste and having the party castle that floated.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah.
So you remember the Grey Waste? It was. I was like, I really hated that setting, right? I was like, so I was thinking maybe we could go collect some of the soil from the Grey Waste, bring it back to the flower shop, figure out what'll grow in it, and then go back and terraform the Grey Waste and turn it into something else where we can have like. And then,
Mix the Grey Waste.
yeah. We'll turn the Grey
portal.
Waste. Yeah, I think it would be funny to terraform the Grey Waste. I just think that would be a funny.
Let's put the mushroom people there.
Maybe the mushroom people will grow there. And then we were talking about having getting the Relentless and turning it into a party castle in the Grey Waste, right? That rolls around the Grey Waste, and you got there's a special portal that goes into it.
You gotta get the special
VIP,
key.
totally.
Right.
It's on the VIP key to get into the rolling castle. Yeah, totally.
Do we know someone who can forge keys?
I mean, I know there's a lot of demons and shit there now.
The last one we had to get him. We got him.
It was fun.
We'll do it again. It's a process. So maybe
we'll use the Lation Horn.
That's true. I feel like that has a purpose. At some point, it's got to be destiny, right?
I mean, maybe the Marduk would enjoy life if it was on the
Party Bus version of the Relentless instead of like the awful one.
I'm down for Party Bus.
Me too.
We'll call it Relentless. We'll just do like an R with a
couple pillows.
With an R and a little E up above it or something. And then just like making some fun.
With a little accent.
Yeah, like we'll make like an element. Make it look like on the periodic table of RE.
Oh, okay.
Or something, right?
Can we send somebody there to collect some?
She's so relentless.
Yeah, right.
To collect some soil so we can start working on this. Can we do we have to go do that? Can we just send some acolytes to the Grey Waste to
Are you asking Terry or?
Where is the Grey Waste?
I'm just asking the DM.
Can somebody in your circle do it? Or?
I don't remember how to get there. How did we get there?
Portals.
Can't somebody in your circle do it? Why do you have to use my initiates to go get?
Oh yeah, totally.
That sounds pretty dangerous, doesn't it?
The workforce. Well, yeah, maybe it'd be better for ninjas to go do that work. I don't know.
I just remember it being.
How did we get there?
It was fun. I would just have to change my armor and ship.
Didn't we have to take a boat on the River Styx?
You took a boat on the River Styx and Tequila fell in. Do you remember? Right. That's what happened.
I fall in again. Maybe I forget this limb.
So the Grey Waste is where the Relentless rolls?
No, the Relentless was in, if I remember correctly, it was in one of the hells. It was in the 6th layer of base hole.
Yeah, but once we get back there, we'll be taking over the portals anyway. We'll just port it to wherever we want.
So maybe this is set for the back burner. I was just thinking we could go get the soil and start.
Yeah, I like that. It'd be nice to be able to have a sample of the.
You can send anybody you want to. You can pay for a courier. You know what I mean. You don't have to go yourself. I mean, there might be an inherent risk of somebody going to the Grey Waste, but
didn't we do it for $2,000?
Right. But some of these acolytes look at you guys excuse me, when you ask them to do something. Whereas when EQ asks them to do something, they jump right away.
Well, right. I wouldn't ask them. Right. I would relay the plans to EQ. EQ has to, command his people. Do you want to send a couple acolytes to the Grey Waste?
It's a big ask. Only a few of my guys have been through the portal at all.
Shinji says, yes, and we're already missing an acolyte again at the flower shop.
So is the Grey Waste inhabited? Is this going to be hostile territory, or is it just a matter of portaling there, gathering some soil from a few different places and then portaling right back?
There's demons and shit if I remember.
Yeah, there's demons, and that's where most of the blood war was fought. You remember piles and piles of dead that actually filled. No, he's just shredding.
Now that I think about it, terraforming the Grey Waste might be the easy part. Stopping the blood war might be hard.
Right.
This has been going on as long as.
Didn't we just stop the blood war?
Maybe that's something for another adventure.
Now that
We're just in denial about Sigil.
Demons can't portal anymore.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but there's sure it's still going on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't we have a responsibility in Sigil that maybe we ought to check in since nobody's been there in a long time?
That's what I'd really like to do. I'd love to get rid of Kalon and figure out what's going on in Sigil. Go back and check in with Jaoquin, see what he's got.
Okay.
I want to go talk to Esteban and get the real skinny on Kalon. Who was working for who?
Make sure.
In the general scheme of things, and is he holding back anything that we need to know so we can move forward with stopping the goddamn cousins? And
okay, I think that sounds good.
And also maybe we need to find out if we need to clear that with anybody, like the Queen of Pain, the Lady of Pain.
It's quite a name.
Or her acolytes or something. I don't know.
Is she in Sickle?
She runs
She
Sickle.
moves and goes.
Oh, right.
We might want to pass all the things we do, like, by her, really.
I remember, like, nobody sees it, like you don't want to see it.
Right.
But does she have representatives in town? I mean, does she just sort of oversee in an omnipotent way?
I think that would be a question for maybe Esteban.
Okay.
Yeah, but what if we tell her what we want to do, and then she says no, and then she knows that we want to do it, then we've kind of set ourselves up to be...
Well, we'll just try to be good citizens of Sigil.
Right.
And not be assholes and hope that's good enough.
Maybe we just don't
But I'm just saying if we...
volunteer information that we don't need to volunteer.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I get it.
Because we do want to kill him, ultimately, and if she doesn't...
Kaylon? Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, and if she's like, no, then we're fucked.
No.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think that needs to happen on the slot.
But yeah, and then...
I'm not telling her we're killing Kaylon. I meant portals and stuff.
I don't remember her actually being in charge of anything. I think there might be a different system of government in Sigil.
Oh. It has to do with the harmonium, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the governors, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So we just need to watch out for them, right?
Okay.
If I remember, she protects the city from anybody trying to damage it or take it over. But other than that, she doesn't really concern herself with
the happenings.
Okay. Good to know. Well, I'd still like to go back to Sigil. I long to be at the tree for a minute.
Yeah.
So that's my vote.
That makes sense. And then we can devise a way to kill Kaylon, because we have like 20 options.
Right. We do need to decide what's next. Yeah. So back to Sigil. You want to go back to Sigil now?
Well, I'd like to secure things here before we go.
Okay.
You know, I'd like to talk to the dojo guys, make sure everything gets cleaned up. Like, yeah, what's the state of the city? Like, is it still?
Most of the boats have left the harbor, so the people have started to, move out. You're not getting woken up quite as often in the morning. Shouts and crowds in the streets. Some of the walkways need repairs. They're kind of damaged in the tournament. There was, for a while, there was, a smoldering smoke from the actual tournament place where some of the explosions happened out there. But they put that out, and they've since been rebuilding it.
Probably a lot of flowers around.
Yeah.
Scattered around.
Right. And at this point, they're all trampled, Right. It is muggy. It's starting to, as the afternoon is dragging on, it's actually getting hotter and warmer, and and it is quite muggy and quite humid, which is a little,
Right. I guess, is everybody around me?
Yeah.
We're all in the dock.
I completely forgot to mention that I went up and checked at my office, thank you everybody, and there was a note, and it said, it was an ominous note, I don't really know who it came from, but it might be secret writing on it too. Beware of the weather, it's very warm this time of year. So I feel like that is something we need to do.
And there was some invisible ink on it that we needed to decipher.
Yes, and Towley told me the way to do that. Do you have any lemon, Towley, in the flower shop?
Woosh, I got some. I'm sure he garnishes his boot cakes with a little.
It's common. scurvy and things like that. You're in a port city.
Okay, so can I go get a little
home lime and lemon trees from somewhere?
I thought we did too, actually.
I'm pretty sure we did. And we put them in the flower shop.
Okay, so I'm gonna go get a little lemon and spread it over where I think this invisible ink is. What does it say?
Arcane energy emanating from the mountain. And so, Waterdeep, I'm going to show you a picture. So I'm not going to draw it for everybody, but I will pass this around.
Emanating? From the what?
From the mountain.
Yeah.
So this is Waterdeep, right? And so this is the dock you're standing on. This is where the tournament is, and they've got a natural rock barrier. There's a mountain in the very north of town, and then Waterdeep's like this. It's like a big moon shape, right? And then all the nobles are up here. And this is the big mount that's kind of overlooking the harbor.
Okay.
Like a Diamond Head, if you've ever been to Hawaii.
Can we see the mountain from where we're sitting?
Oh yeah, it dominates the harbor. I mean,
It doesn't look like it's glowing or anything?
It doesn't look like it's... Yeah, actually, it looks like there's like a shimmering heat around it. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, like it's a volcano that's gonna explode on us? Like everything's gonna blow up? Like everything's gonna blow up.
Oh, wow. Maybe we need to get out of here. Perception?
Yeah.
22.
This seems to be some sort of like shimmer off of it, almost like a...
Did you show tally?
Like a heat. I did not.
Like a heat distortion?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Perhaps.
Dragons.
Or fucking lava.
Yeah.
This is a mountain right here, and then, like this is water deep.
Coming up through the bottom.
This is the harbor.
Right.
This is where the tournament was.
Okay.
There's a treasure in there.
Thank you.
Maybe we're not supposed to leave right now. We're never getting out of bed. Could we send Poe up to the mountain to investigate? Is it close enough?
Is it?
Is it within... How far is Find Familiar? I'm not going to drink anything out of that because it's empty.
100 feet, telepathic. So I can see through its eyes, through its ears, and hear.
I feel like that's more than 100 feet.
Yeah, it's more than 100 feet.
Okay.
So she can't.
She could just fly
yards.
over there and
Report back.
fly around and then come back.
That'd be good.
Yeah, might take a while, but yeah.
Okay. We'll send Poe off to do some high reconnaissance and be careful out there.
Okay.
Come back safe.
Send an acolyte too.
That's an order.
You want to send one up there?
Yeah.
Do we need to check on the acolyte from the flower shop?
Oh, I need to go have a talk with Ravon. It's but I have a plan.
I remember it being a good plan.
Yeah, I have to tie. It's another loose end I gotta tie up before I go to fucking Sigil.
I love it.
What's everybody want to do? You want to wait for the boat to get back, or?
I take
Well, I
one
want
of
to go
the
back to the flower
oysters.
shop and go down and pack, straighten out my lab. If we're going to go ahead to Sigil, I want to tie up some loose ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll make my way back to the flower shop.
Okay. Go ahead, Tekla.
I take a bunch of oysters with Woo's permission and go to test them out at the flower shop in our kitchen.
Yes, and
Because
he's
I've got other ingredients and stuff around.
like, yeah. He's eating another woo taco.
Yeah, woo.
Well, where did we hear the stories of the skeletons?
Maybe
eating?
it's a Tekla taco. Woo cakes and Tekla tacos.
Tekla tacos. That's good.
Here's our branding master, right here.
Tekla tacos.
The tacos of Tekla.
Tacos of Tekla. Oh, that's great.
I mean, you were sort of the champion. You've established a name, right? Like,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I do have a background.
I'm getting
being
visions of
famous too.
We'll put your face on the taco wrapper, or whatever, or your hammer.
The hammer, yeah, the hammer. It's got a big fire axe on it.
Street fair.
Diamond Strong or something on there.
We need to open a D&D themed pub and have our pub food in it. In real life, that would
We
be really
just said
fun.
that. All right. We just talked about that. Open up a Woos and Brews, play D&D in the back.
Oh.
Like, yeah, right.
I missed that conversation. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
just make woo cakes and fucking tacos.
And tacos and serve different brews.
Yeah, plum wine.
I'll hella work there, you guys.
Fun.
Good, because I don't want to work. Somebody's gonna have to work there.
We're just there.
I'll DM.
I like cooking. I really like cooking.
You are the recipe maker. You don't necessarily have to cook. You get to play with the rest of us.
They're Tekla. They're named after you. for
Yeah.
Christ's
Right.
sake. Tekla tacos and shit.
What do you want to do?
Where are the skeletons coming from? Where are the rumors of the skeletons?
I remember Silverhand mentioning that they were underneath the water deep in the sewers that you were in before.
Well, don't you think that should be investigated?
Fucking undead and fucking
I know.
exploding mountains and there's just this.
I feel like we can't just like ignore these happenings without knowing what's going on.
I mean, there was a thieves guild under there for quite some time.
Yeah, they're forced out. She said they were kind of forced out. Maybe we could find some. But the Thieves Guild is in Xanathar. Did I get it right that time?
You did.
Holy shit, that came out right. That was out of my ass.
Well done.
That might be the first time I got that right.
That's right, the thieves.
See if they want to go back in and take it back over.
Or just figure out what's going on. Just go ask around, you know what I'm saying? Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll go do that.
At a bar.
At a bar and see if you can find somebody and make an investigation check.
What was
Are we
Roy
all
Lord Rothram? It's one of his establishments.
Oh yeah, well, you're not sure which are particularly are his establishments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're all standing on the dock right now. I'm assuming Tally actually is going to go back to the flower shop.
I'm going with Tally to the flower shop.
You're going to go with Tally to the flower shop. The rest of you are going to go to the bar.
The pub to check out what's
I will. I'll go.
up.
Yeah, I'll go check out what's going on.
Hey, can I borrow your like really badass brass mug so I can go to the bar with Lil with her badass mug? Thanks.
Absolutely not.
No. This is my mug. I'm drinking out of it right now. Like, there's no way that I'm not drinking out of it right now.
Right.
I believe I'm going to go down to the pub too. That's one of my rules.
Thank you for reminding me to grab mine, though. Thank you.
And maybe Lil and you can share or something.
Hey, man.
Are you wearing your comb in your hair, Lil?
Oh, yeah.
Your dragon comb with the emeralds on it?
We'll get you a
my
mug.
eyes
We'll get you a mug.
yeah.
You just take that.
Tech Lady, you going to head to the pub too?
But I
I'll
can't.
buy you a drink
Okay.
though.
Thanks.
If you're looking for one of the Xanathar Guild, make an investigation check.
Totally. Pixie meat all the way.
One of the what?
Come on.
Xanathar Guild?
That's the Thieves Guild?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will investigate. Fuck.
Use my mug. That's fine.
And we'll get to the flower shop in a minute.
No.
That's amazing.
It's you.
You gonna get some other mug?
A 9.
A
I haven't
9?
earned this shit.
Yeah, I mean the first one you go into, you don't find any, you don't see anybody that looks like they were part of the
You
Xanathar
could go
Guild.
find a mug, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I tried. Yeah, you could go buy a mug at the market or go to a mug store,
It's still working out for me. I'm doing okay.
Or like, I don't know, yeah, like, find one signal.
We'll go one adventuring. There'll be something.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to search? Anybody else that went to the pub want to search for the Xanathar Guild?
Sure, I'll search.
Investigation check.
Yeah, I'm searching. We're here.
What is it?
Investigation.
Investigation.
I'll take perception or investigation. Pick one.
13.
13? Okay. Yeah, you don't see anybody that you would recognize, you know, directly from the Xanathar Guild. Still quite a lot of people in the bars. It's quite rowdy. You know, some people still practicing like kung fu, whether they're good at it or not. Many posers in their tech lab.
Damn.
You're not even all that intimidated about the place.
So do I even bother?
Well, you go into another establishment.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll take perception or investigation.
We're gonna check out the next one. 9 plus 5. So 14.
Yeah, you guys don't seem to find anybody in the Xanathar Guild.
Do we need to go look?
I mean, you could look elsewhere. You could
Places
ask
other than
people around.
bars?
I mean, there are other things you can do, but by just going into a number of establishments, you don't see anybody that outwardly strikes you like they were part of the Xanathar Guild.
Nobody there, huh?
Nobody that you can observe that looks like that, no.
Can I use my Emerald Enclave? This isn't the kind of place that I'm gonna be able to like use that symbol to find anybody, is it?
Probably not. You never know, but...
Should we just ask around? You should just ask around. You're famous.
It's not what we've been doing though.
We've been investigating.
In the bars?
Right?
Yeah, investigating it.
Like nothing's come out of that.
So have we just been like looking, or have we been talking to people too?
We need to go into the thieves' ward.
Kind of hinting at it with people, maybe like sitting next to somebody for a drink and saying, yeah, oh, that's Anathar Guild, and then but nobody's biting on it whatsoever. And you don't observe anybody that looks like they have the same eye patch that you saw last time.
So they're just gone.
You haven't been able to find one.
That's weird.
No.
Can I ask one of the barkeeps if he's heard any rumors of what's going on down below the city?
Is that what you ask him?
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah. Of course we hear things.
What have you heard?
Rumors of undead. So I thought they were crazy at first, but the fourth drunk that's seen a zombie, I tend to believe.
So you think the rumors are true, huh?
There's something to them.
Have you been proved?
Not that I know of.
What'd you ask?
Like, had it been proven to him?
Can I get you another drink?
Yes, please.
No.
I tip him an extra 5 gold pieces.
Mark it off.
Have you, anything else you can share with me that might help our cause? Might help us investigate what's going on down below there? Anybody that you know that might know more?
Well, I don't know. No, probably not.
Okay. Fair enough. What do you think? What do you want to do?
Blood doors. Let's get out of here.
We're back at the flower shop. Tally, you want to go to your workshop?
I'm going down there too.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, you go in your workshop. Nobody's there.
Oh. That
acritic smell, though, of poisons being brewed. It does seem like the Lady Ravon is kept to her side of the workshop.
Bless her heart.
One less fucking thing to deal with.
Go ahead.
I'd like to go upstairs to the flower shop and pick a flower.
Okay.
And put it in a little vial.
Okay.
And set it on the corner of Lady Ravon's side of the lavatory.
Okay.
Nice peace offering. Well played.
Something with peace. Right.
Right.
Thank you for being nice.
Yep.
I'm gonna sit and meditate and either wait for Lady Ravon to get back or these guys to get back. Whichever comes first.
I'm gonna sit and meditate in the lab though.
In the lab itself?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the first people that come back is your companions.
Did you just roll for that?
Yeah.
Do perception check?
Do you want to do one?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
14.
Your mind is silent and you're just practicing on your meditation, going within.
She does have brews actively brewing in her side of the lab.
She does, yeah.
Okay.
Do we see? Can we walk in? I walked in.
Yeah, you go to the lab. That's where Tally usually works.
Okay.
In the flower shop. You didn't find him in the flower shop. There were a couple acolytes working. Shinji doing the ledgers.
Where's Siri?
Walking around with you.
Oh, okay.
He went to the bar with you.
Oh. It's been so quiet tonight.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot going on.
So we found out that from one of the barkeeps that he thinks the rumors of the skeletons are true, but didn't find any, irrefutable evidence. So
And
I
there's
don't
not
know.
a lot of word on the thieves.
Seems like they're kind of seems like they're gone.
Well, undead in an active volcano. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
a
thieves
lot.
are gone, like they left. Should we be leaving?
I know. Well, they did get defeated, right?
Well,
Did they?
Yeah, because we killed their beholder.
Yeah.
There.
So they just got in their rowboats and rowed away.
It sounds like it. But do we want undead under there? Like,
No, I think we should take that as our own.
is that something we need to deal
Tekla-
with before we
Tekla
go
wants
back
that
and?
for her spot. We all have our own little spots. Tekla wants that for her spot. I think we should totally like.
The cave of wonders.
I think the beholder's boudoir is the perfect place.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Let's make it happen.
Well, then we're
I'm
gonna
gonna hang
have
out
to
at the
put
flower shop, though. Really, you know what I mean? Like,
we're gonna have to put Kaylin on the back burner then for a minute again.
no, I think we should kill Kaylin.
Yeah, let's do
That's
that.
more important to me.
Well, yeah.
So what if the volcano erupts and your dojo is burned alive and
We gotta retreat
all the
to the
people
cave.
are?
Well, is Poe coming
It's probably a
back?
dragon.
Hello?
Yeah.
Poe?
Well,
Did you guys-
Yeah, Poe does fly in eventually.
And? What did you see out there over the mountain?
He squawks at you, "Caw-caw, caw-caw," and like you hear, he's kind of telepathically communicating with you. The rest of you just hear like crow screeching. Not a bird. Weird. He said, you get these emanations of like heat, and it not like lava. It's just like hot and humid, and like clouds. Like you
not
get these,
lava?
What's that?
Not lava?
No, yeah, that's not what he's saying. I mean, he's saying like it's almost muggy, wet, and like hot.
Okay.
And the undead. Later.
What does the rest of the terrain look like?
It's a mountain. It's pretty jagged at the top, and craggy up to the top of it. It's a pretty bare mountain.
Okay.
Doesn't have a lot of vegetation on it.
Except now it has this shimmering, humid, hot, cloudy atmosphere around it.
Yeah.
I wonder if something isn't brewing under there. So does it obstruct our view of the mountain?
Not quite. I mean, you just see the shimmer off of it. It's getting dark now, but
Okay, people, what does this all mean?
I don't know. Is magic taking over the mountain or something?
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
Yep, it's a dragon.
Aren't you hot to get some scales?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's a dragon. I'm hoping. I'm optimistic that it's a dragon.
Is there treasure in there that we get to
A
take
dragon
the spoils?
treasure? Yeah,
Maybe.
they're all about that. Dragons are all about treasure, right?
I have no clue.
Yes, they are all about treasure. To a ridiculous degree.
Yeah.
That's at 9:30.
Yeah, it's not that way at all.
Okay.
Okay. Are we all in the lab right now?
Yes.
Okay,
They're all
so-
crammed in the lab and just discussing things with each other.
Okay.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yes, hang on.
Have we got more beer besides those two?
Oh. No, but have one. I don't need any more. I hit my quota, dude.
Okay.
I'm good.
Sounds kind of good. Thank you.
Yeah, what's next?
It's not mine or Jen's.
I have no way else.
This happy one is probably Jen's. Yeah. No?
Or the Robin's. Or mine.
Mine.
I couldn't say. That's my job to keep track of.
That's not mine.
That may have been mine.
I think it was yours. It was half like that.
So then this one was yours. Big brother.
What are we trying to noodle out here?
What we're gonna do next?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What do you guys want to do? Should we take a vote? You just want to talk it out?
Roll for it?
Roll for it. Well, how important do we think what's going on here in Waterdeep is versus going back and killing Kaelin? Everybody gets 30 seconds. Go.
Personally, I'm curious about what's going on the mountain. I feel like I could send some acolytes. You could probably send some of your
creatures.
Emerald.
Yeah, on
The circle.
Yeah.
the circle. I mean, I don't know if it's not a volcano. If it's I mean, you were the one that kind of got the message anyway, right? So maybe they're already looking into it, perhaps, right? So
Probably not, but I could alert them to. That's a good point, yeah.
and so maybe we could have some of our tendrils take care of things on this side of the portal, and then we go see what's going on in the treehouse and with Kaelon. That's kind of what I'd like to do. I'd really like to go see what's going on in Segal. I'd like to go see Jaoquin. Got some money in my pocket. I'd like to go see one of these guys.
Well, speaking of money, what are we doing with the 12 grand?
We're keeping it as a pot.
I think we should.
I think we should open another portal at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna do a portal, and then also speaking to what someone else was talking about, like a portal's 10,000. There's still an additional like 2,800 that we could give as our cut to the community to build it up.
We stole that though, right? Like we stole.
No.
No, that's what you made from Lou. Yeah.
No, yeah, right.
Oh, we could do that. We could give our 10% away if we all agree we want to donate 10% every time to the city.
Well,
That's more than
Every
10%.
time or just this
but
time?
that's more than 10%. But it's like right now we got a portal. We can get this.
Since we did
We
it
also
for
have our own
wellness
personal
and its
gold
resources.
and platinum.
What, Tally?
I said, especially since we overwhelmed the city and their resources.
Right.
There you
There's a
go.
cleanup that needs to happen and some expansion that needs to happen. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so
So we could be generous the first time.
So you're gonna leave
Exactly.
it to Shinji to find the appropriate place for this money to go, or
Sure. One of the dudes that we talked to on the dock about like they were
Trust
nervous.
Silverhand, like,
Yeah, Silverhand would be good.
she's sort of been our go-to. She's the head of the nobles, yes?
yes, she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the
Well then,
right.
let's.
Okay. So you said you're gonna send her the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how much did we have? Who's tracking how much we have on our
Yeah.
account?
Who had the community?
I wrote it
I got
down. This doesn't necessarily mean I'm tracking it.
I got 12,623 gold.
Okay.
I'm gonna also track it.
And we decided that 10K was going to be for a new portal.
Well,
so that leaves
should we put that in our
2623.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna take 10% off, though, then we should. Minus. Just hit me over.
So
So 10% would be
1,200.
1,200.
Minus 1,200.
and the 10 grand's going in our vault.
Yeah. So that leaves us
It's
with.
not 10 grand.
No, it's more.
Well, 10 grand is for the portal, 12,
Well, we haven't done
and
that
so then
yet.
there's still 1,400 gold
Yeah,
left.
we haven't done that. So let's just say we have $11,483 in our general fund.
I like it.
Do you all agree with that?
Yeah.
We don't need to split it up?
No, I think that's fine.
Alright. I'm gonna track it. Alright.
Yo.
There we go. Now, we need to decide if we're gonna send.
So where is the gold going to the vault?
Yeah, our general fund, yes.
Who's taking it there?
Can we stick it in the bag of holding?
Isn't it in our flower shop?
Yeah, who's taking it down to the vault and putting it in?
Why does that feel like a trick question?
Right, like why do we have to go to
Yeah, all
the
of
vault?
us.
All of you are gonna go do it?
Not me.
I'll do it.
Just like in fucking Usual Suspects. We're all going to California, motherfucker. You're not just going to fucking fly off with the money.
Those of you who went to the vault to look in the vault and put the 10 grand in it, and make a perception check, please.
The vault is empty. Natural 20.
15.
Nice.
You hear some sort of like talking coming from down where the chaos pool is.
Where the chaos pool is? Some kind of talking?
Yeah, you hear voices. You think
I step into the shadows and I turn invisible. Poof.
it is dark down here. You guys, EQ kind of disappears from you.
I'm gonna cast Fast Without Trace. And I'm gonna try to stop.
Okay.
I say, I alert everyone to, before I disappear in the shadows, I say, I hear voices by the chaos pool.
Okay.
Make my way down there.
Make your way down there stealthily.
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
yeah, quietly.
All right, so stealth checks. Please.
Okay, everybody remember to plus 10, because I got Fast Without Trace.
24.
Did everybody go down?
Yeah.
30. Something extra when I'm invisible?
Ooh, that's not great. You actually get advantage.
I do?
Yes, you do.
30.
14.
So I add
14?
12 plus what?
Yeah. 10. And then if you have anything in stealth.
Oh yeah.
He needs to go to bed.
Yeah, it's not that late yet.
No, it's not.
20.
Would you roll 20? Would you roll Tequila?
Yeah. 24.
24? You guys kind of scuff your feet on the way down because you kind of have to move over the third step because you know it's a trap and you don't want to step on it.
This trap hasn't been sprung or anything?
The trap has not been sprung. And then as you do, you kind of make a bit of a noise and then the voices you hear kind of stop. But yeah, you continue down.
Fuck yeah, I want to run along the wall quietly. I want to fucking ninja scroll down there.
And you get down there and you're looking there. The Lady Ravon is like, she's kneeling on both of her knees just at the edge of the chaos pool. Which looks like it's growing another charge. It now has 2 charges in it.
Oh my god.
She's so hot.
So awesome.
And she's just kind of kneeling on her haunches, you know, like just bending down, like just observing it.
I want to come up behind her, all quiet like, and just come out of stealth.
Okay. And you think you feel just a tenseness in her body for a second, and then she kind of like turns around, and you see it in her eyes. She tries to pretend like she wasn't startled a little bit. You know, she obviously heard something down here, but so she kind of turns around, but didn't know when it was coming. Like, was a bit surprised, but not quite too surprised.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not totally off guard.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think of the pool? What do you think of the pool?
It's fascinating.
Isn't it?
I've never seen anything like it. What does it do?
That is a good question. That is a good question.
Your wings are fluttering.
Yeah. We call it the chaos pool.
Right. Thierry is like standing on the edge, way away from the chaos pool. I don't want to speak to Mother again.
All right. I tell her, we call it the chaos pool. I don't know. I lost a foot before, and I put my foot in it hoping I would get my foot back, and I turned into this dashing facade that you see before you here. I was a human before, but now...
I remember, I saw.
Yeah, now I'm a Goliath. This is what did it. No, so...
she's just staring at it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, it's all fucking weird to me, too.
Have you found me a portal to the Underdark yet?
No, but... we're working on that.
The rest of you come down there. I mean, you make your way to this chaos pool.
I thought you were going to ask her to pay for it. I thought you were going to see if she had money to pay for it.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm not never.
We're gonna do the dirty wreck, but she's gonna pay for it.
So what are you gonna tell her?
To build a wall.
We're about to go through our portal.
I was gonna say,
So the place where portals originate from.
Probably not.
I thought, actually I had a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. So I thought maybe you should come through. You might like to see this other part of the world. What is it like in Sig? Is it like cloudy? Is it like could a drow walk around? There's no sun, right?
There's no sun. Yeah, I don't know. So it's actually lit by like a weird ambient light that does like dim, not completely dim to darkness, but it does like ebb and flow.
But so a drow could be there and not be like cooked or something.
I mean, you see her shying away right now from like even. Just kind of diverting her eyes from the glimmer of this chaos pool down there. That chaos pool lights the whole place. There's like a shimmer all over the ceiling.
Have we all walked out of stealth? Are we all down there now?
Well, you can stay in stealth or you can walk out. You can show yourselves.
I smell you.
I'll come out of the shadows.
Yeah. I mean, Terry did. Yes.
How did the pool end up with a second charge? What were you saying to him?
Saying? I don't know what you're talking about.
We heard voices.
What voices?
What is it?
Yeah.
You want to do an insight check?
Insight.
Me too. Bullshit.
insight. Oh, I got insight. 19.
19. What'd you roll to?
13.
13.
But EQ is the one.
You can't read her at all. You can't. I mean, she's like a mask to you.
Yeah.
She's clearly lying. There were voices done.
We can talk about it later.
Indeed.
But don't think that we didn't notice that there's another charge in the chaos pool, because it used to be a lot more full, and every time one of us used it, it shrunk a little bit. Now there's another charge in it.
I see.
So.
And there's the matter of the disappearing acolytes.
Yeah, and there's the matter of the disappearing acolytes that we need to discuss.
Charging the chaos.
The fools you have working here.
Yeah,
you're slaves.
They're not slaves. They're volunteers.
I don't understand why you don't give them the whip, EQ. You must learn the way of being a master.
Yeah, I know. And actually, they could use a little discipline. You probably could. If I could, you probably would be a good influence on them. But I noticed you've been.
Should I get my lashes?
Well, I noticed they've been disappearing.
That's strange.
Is it? And I know you're a poisoner, and I get it. I like having you around, all right? But you can't be poisoning my initiates, okay? You can't be, like, offing my initiates. So, I would like to volunteer to be your poison tester. Did you ever figure out how the poison works? Did you read it?
No. But you're going to volunteer yourself?
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check. What are you going to say? I mean, is that all you're going to say, or?
No, look. This so happens I have built poison is poison's kind of my thing. So
kind of into it?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm kind of into it, but I like to get high. So maybe you could stop offing my initiates. And I mean, look, and you could just use
me.
That's not an accusation.
I look at her.
But let's all be real.
Makes you immune to disease and poison.
You're about to open them yourself. All right, I'll have one. We'll share it.
I have water.
So here's how I would do that. So I'll let you decide this. You know what I mean? Like if you want to do it, I'll give you advantage on the saving throws, because what I'm going to say is the reason why you are able to resist poisons is because of your connection to your chi. So I'm going to say you're able to let that connection down and the poisons affect you. But you know what I mean? That is going to make you susceptible to them.
If I choose to let them
then they're going to affect you. You know what I mean? And then but I'll give you advantage. on the saving throws.
Okay.
But you still want to do it. And advantage on the saving throws, and I'll give you resistance to poison and advantage on the saving throws.
Okay.
So that means you take half damage.
Half damage, yeah, right. Unless it's like a death potion or something, right? Like right.
Correct.
Which I know she does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That'll make life interesting.
Okay. All right. I'm intrigued.
Okay. No, I'm into you. I like having you around, but I can't have you offing my initiates either, or whoever's offing my initiates. I can't have my initiates disappearing.
I see. I know. I understand.
All right, and I'm not saying
when your property disappears, it's theft in our society.
And how do you punish this?
We find the offending party, and then they are reprimanded 2 slaves for every stolen one.
Okay, well, you remember that.
2 for 1.
So anytime you need something poison tested, you call me, unless it's like death poison. If it's like sleep poison or, some other kind of funky weirdness.
Will it still have an effect on you?
2 for 1.
Maybe.
If I was going to test your poisons, it would be on your friend Tally. So.
Leave Tally alone. You guys are in close quarters down there. The less shit you can stir up between you and Tally, the better. So anyway, I'm going through the portal, and thought maybe you might like to come through too. The portal, yes, to see how this portal thing works.
Portal to where?
To Sigil.
I do indeed.
It's an entirely other dimension. I promise you, it's something like nothing you've ever seen before.
I would love to.
You'll forget about all this tally initiate nonsense, and it's very different. And then you can see the whole process of getting a portal because it's very fascinating. You get to stand in many lines and sign lots of paperwork, and then pay lots of money, and then you too can have a portal to wherever you like.
But we have the money set aside.
No.
Yes, perhaps you should show me this new.
I'm gonna go upstairs and let these two talk.
Okay.
I'm following my
I'm done.
first of its kind.
Yeah.
She knows. I'm done.
Right.
That's the last of its kind.
So Sigil in the morning. Sigil right now.
What do you think, Tequila? Tally?
Well, if we're going to do it, let's have a cup of tea before we go. Because we don't know what the hell we're going to find on the other side.
For sure. Should let Lady Ravon go first. Are we rested?
I'm rested.
Yeah, I mean you've been rested. Yeah. I mean it's mid-evening. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're fairly rested.
I got my
We've been here several days, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's been several days. You know. I mean like kind of been hanging out, recuperating after the tournament.
All right. What time of day is it?
Mid-evening, 7, 8.
And is it?
Well, then should we spend the night here and just set off first thing in the morning to Sigil?
Sure, have breakfast, have some tea.
And then we could have tea in the morning and then just go through the portal and
Sure. That sounds good. I like it.
All right. So for a long rest.
Long rest.
Yeah. Each I need to make a perception check.
Hi, baby.
Where are you staying?
Probably just down in the bottom of the flower shop, down in my little meditation.
You rolled an 11?
Yeah.
Okay. You wake up, you feel a touch on your shoulder. What's that? You turn around and you see the Lady Ravon has let herself into your bed and she's wearing none of the little tiny spidery clothing that she's had on before.
All right. Hi.
I thought perhaps we should consummate our relationship.
Let me break out the jug. Let me break out the jug. Would you like a drink, my dear?
Of course. So I'll take a performance check. You can just and athletics. You know, you pick. Maybe all three. I don't know.
Like, you can tell us how that works exactly because, whichever one you choose, it is important.
Right. It is important.
It is important. Now I'm going to think about that from now on. Like, I'm just like, wait, have I used the athletics one yet? Where's the sleight of hand?
Where's the sleight of hand?
I'm going to go with the sleight of hand move to start with.
Sleight of hand. Okay.
Yeah, right. So great. D&D.
21.
I love you guys. It's fucking fabulous. I start with some sleight of hand.
Right.
Then it moves to athletics.
Immediately.
No
Just
foreplay.
like that.
Straight athletic.
Right. Just like that.
No. But you guys spend a good part of the evening together till you fall asleep. And then, when you wake up, she's not in your bed anymore, but... Perfect. Yes.
She's like the ultimate girl. She just disappears in the middle of the night.
I love her.
All right.
I'm such a dick.
That's funny as hell.
So we'll wait for these two to stop smoking, and then we'll make our way to Sigil. I'm assuming we're going to have tea?
Oh, yeah.
He's glowing.
Right. What happened to you? You look quite chipper this morning.
I used my little... my minor illusion.
Show the
Dude.
That's pretty funny. No shit. Did you wrap it with spider webs or something? Cause
No, man. No, I let the little Goliaths out.
the little Goliath. Right. Your wings here flapping. They're just fluttering all morning. All right, so tea is served.
Tea is served.
And we'll make our way to Sigil.
15 extra points, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
The Lady Ravon joins you for breakfast, and she barely gives you like the time of day, like just kind of not acknowledging you at all.
I'm only 21.
That's a why. She's like, don't fall for this guy. Don't act like you know him. Like if people see you in public together, you might blush, and then you're in trouble. You got to think like a night elf. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's dark.
Right.
She can't be shown all twisted like that.
When nobody's looking, I just smack her on the ass. And then just walk away.
She's glaring daggers at you.
Mm-hmm. She still wants it.
Everybody's getting ready to go to Sigil in the morning. You're having tea, Leo.
I like tea.
So you get 15
Wish I had
hit
a
points.
full mug.
You have 15 hit points. It's a special tea that Tally's been
Tally's
using for a
special
while.
tea.
Oh yes, that's right. Specialty. It's Tally's specialty.
Specialty. It's
Yeah,
pretty good,
specialty.
right? Right.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Why am I amassing hit points?
Because
You
we're
might
awesome
need them.
with that.
Because we're going into what? What are we doing, you guys?
Have you never
We
been to
don't know.
Sigil? You never been?
I have started out around there, but it is not like everyone was waking up from there before we met in the grasslands for that very first into the dragon cave. So
They keep talking about portals and stuff like that. You're actually not quite sure what they're talking about. I mean, you've
have an
teleported,
idea.
right? You've had an idea.
I've seen people travel that way.
Right.
As
Well,
they're coming
Sigil
through Napa,
itself,
then
you've never heard of like this city they keep.
No, I'm really familiar with Deepwater.
Waterdeep, right, in the surrounding area.
Yep, I'm like down with what we're doing at the dojo and the flower shop.
Yep.
But Sigil is
Tea for the morning.
Oh,
Tally's special tea.
thank you, Tally.
And everybody's getting ready to go to Sigil. Anybody want to do something before you step through the portal?
We decided to go. Is that what we decided to do?
yeah.
Okay.
Had a long rest.
Had some tea, had a rest.
Didn't learn
It's like
much.
morning in Waterdeep.
I feel like that's a trick question, but no, I'm good.
Okay.
What are we
Right,
doing?
I always feel like I
Going to
should do
Sigil.
more than what I'm doing.
I feel like we need to make sure that somebody alerts us if shit goes down, like if the undead start taking over the city.
Yeah. Somebody from the dojo or somebody from the
yeah.
Emerald Enclave.
I'm gonna alert the circle about
Okay.
what's going on in town, and I would like to be alerted. I give one of them show them how to use the scrying mirror.
I give
The scrying mirror only goes to 7 peaks.
my portal stone.
And nobody's used it to look in 7 peaks
Oh,
for
we
a
had a
while.
scrying mirror in Sigil.
No, you have a scrying mirror in the flower shop that
shop.
looks
That's
looks to the 7 peaks.
So the portal just goes from Sigil. Yeah, somebody needs to have access.
My scrying or my portal stone?
Is there
Sending stone or whatever it is.
Yeah, the one that warps people to you
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that with I don't know, one of the masters in case they need to get in touch with me.
Maybe the chick from the other dojo that was your buddy.
Goju.
Oh, well, you're Your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Goju.
Yeah.
Goju the stone.
Okay.
And he can send an acolyte. He can send an acolyte if he needs.
Right. And you find him at the dojo, and he's training everybody. He's quite embarrassed about the display the Whisper put on. He's got a bamboo rod. He's just whipping people that don't have the form right.
And I want to make them aware of the Funky Mountain and the undead potential, and if anything is weird starts happening.
The city is always in peril.
Right. Teleport somebody to me to find out.
And it still stands.
Terry, I'll be with Terry.
Right. Okay.
I could send a praying mantis to Lady Silverhand to alert her as well. But does she already know?
She knew about the explosions and shit. She knew some shit was going down underneath. Like, I think she has her fingers in some. I think she has
She doesn't strike you as incompetent.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So to Sigil.
Through the portal.
So you guys grab the appropriate flower that you set up. Was it a flower or woo cakes to operate the portal? I forgot.
I thought there was a token in the woo cake that we were giving out.
I thought it was something with a fan on it.
That's right. There's a little token. So you pick up the little token with the fan on it. And
Don't we all wear one?
I thought you could buy it from Woo's cart, but like it didn't come with the cakes.
Right. I thought you got a limited number out after a while.
Well, we haven't, but I think there's only a couple of them right now because we're the only ones with a portal right now, right?
So.
Like we haven't, nobody's using our portal yet.
No.
There's been a few acolytes that go back.
Well, acolytes, right? For the acolytes, right?
Right.
No, like
nobody's used a portal since Falara flew through at that one point, and she actually stole one of the keys to this portal.
Can we change it? Can we change the lock?
No.
Like something to consult and Sigil on your desk, Higgins?
Huh?
We had to decide what it was.
Yeah, but maybe we can change the key, right? Like,
Maybe at some point.
let's consult because it would be nice to know.
So Leo, everybody grabs this. They have this little, a little wooden key that has a fan symbol on it, and then suddenly they hold it up to the wall of this flower shop, and then this portal starts to appear. It's just like this shimmering energy, just swirling vortex right in front of you. Who wants to go first?
Can we give Leo a key so she can get through too?
Sure.
I'll go.
Yeah. And then you see EQ step through, and Tally just kind of step through.
I want to like grab her by the hand and escort her through the portal.
It's almost like they and just like shrink and like shoot out somewhere. You're not sure what happened to them at all. Terry steps through. Here we go again. Grabs his hat and steps through.
I'll sit down.
Lil makes it. Tekla.
Going through?
Hopping through. It leaves you just standing by yourself. You hop through, and you see in just like it's like a wormhole, like this thing around you, and you're just shooting through it. You've never seen anything like it, and it's almost like you're spinning. This weird sensation. You think you might be sick for a second, and then you hear like a sucking sound, and you're just standing on the ground around, and everybody's around you, and you're standing in a weird courtyard. There's buildings towering all above you. There's like these weird, sharp, razor-like type of vines that are climbing up most things. And this city is built, it's almost like a donut, like on the inside of a tire. Like it's just wrapping around. So you're looking down it, and it's like going up in front of you. Like so, and it just wraps around all around you, and you can barely see across to the other side because there's like just a faint haze everywhere. And you guys are back in the hacienda. Not the hacienda,
the tree.
Yeah, the tree.
So yeah, what was it? Casa de Arbor.
Yeah, Casa.
What was the name of Silverhand? Who is our guy over here? Silverhand's brother.
Fenarius or something like that.
Fenris.
Fenris?
Wasn't it?
This is Silverhand's brother.
Yeah.
Backstories and backstories.
Yeah.
Right. It used to be Fenris's tree.
Perception checks,
Oh, that's right.
please.
Right. But we worked with him.
Come on, baby.
Yeah. He was the sheep.
6.
16.
16.
19.
19.
And he's an enchanter, yeah?
18?
Sorcerer.
Well,
sorcerer.
You don't know to this, Leo, because you don't have the backstory for it. But except for Tekla, who's just happy to be back at the casa. And you're looking around, and what you're looking at is it looks like they turned most of it into like a training facility. There's a number of acolytes that are like kind of walking around.
The treehouse?
The treehouse, yeah. But the rest of you notice across the street in that familiar location, you see a couple of cousins look over, and they just look startled and like wide-eyed, like looking at you. And then one of them just bolts and takes off and runs. So apparently they're still watching the casa.
Is Sandarian over on this side?
Can I?
You don't see him right now. I mean, he might be in the house.
Those cousins?
Can you follow them stealthily? I'm not stealth, but
can I hunt?
Oh, I know where they're going. You know right where they're going.
But you have the bag, right? They're gonna go tell Kalon to bag it right now.
Yeah. He's
with a quickness.
Well, they were standing around with a couple of Harmonium members like they were last time.
There's more than one.
It's gonna be so peaceful.
Yeah.
Bagging.
Right, Kalon's in Gith. We know where he's at. Right. That's where he was before. It's been a while.
You can Hunter's Mark one of them, yeah. You're the one that's running?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Isn't that just an automatic thing? Yeah, you know about his location. He's running down a street. But Leo, you're walking down the street and you're almost like, what the hell is this? Like, you've seen crazy before, but there are devils walking down the street, angels, people blue, red. I mean, you see centaurs, but they're not quite centaurs. They have goat bodies instead walking around. Just weird smells and just different sounds. You've never seen anything quite like this place. And it's quite, you thought Waterdeep was big. It's the biggest city on the Sword Coast. This dwarfs it by quite a bit.
Waterdeep is the biggest city on the Sword Coast, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We know how to pick them.
We do. How's Ravon? What is her reaction?
The same, just a wonderment of just looking around, shielding her eyes from some of the torch lanterns that are around lighting the streets. But she's that was a portal.
Yeah.
And this could lead straight to the Underdark.
Yeah, if you wait, Underdark. Yeah, later. Look around where you're at. Do you have any idea? You're in a whole other time and space right now. This is you can get anywhere from here. Underdark. Really. Your home is beautiful, and I know you're a lady there, but look around.
Oh, and she starts to. She does. She starts. You see her visions tracing this big circle that is Sigil. What does everybody want to do? Now that you're back at the castle.
So the acolytes are the ones from the dojo, right?
Yes. Do we call them initiates? Is that what we decided to call them? Initiates.
It's all good. Yeah. So they're just chilling. They've made a base out of this. It's all secure, right?
Yeah. They see you and they don't seem to pay you any regard.
Really?
Yeah.
At all?
No. It's kind of casual glance.
They don't know the stories.
I'm gonna go see if I can find Sandarian. I want to look through the house. Just check the house out.
Yeah, as you go in the house, Sandarian's sitting in a chair, and it looks like he has a bunch of initiates around him, and they're handing him papers and stuff like that. And yes, and they're addressing him yes, master. Yesterday I went.
God damn it!
And he seems to be holding
my hand on his shoulder. Sandarian, good to see you.
And he's looking at you kind of wide-eyed. EQ.
Yeah.
You've come back, Master
Sandarian.
well,
No, I don't know.
Somebody, they started calling me that, and I figured, I shouldn't correct them.
You figured out. You knew I was coming back, right? You knew this time was gonna come.
Yeah. Faraday didn't make it last very long. I didn't know if you missed the Magra or.
So did you know about what's going on at the Magra? What do you know?
I've been sending, receiving messages from Shinji.
But you know nothing of what's been going on outside of the...
You told Sindarian to stay in Sigil and watch Kalon. I mean, that's what he's been doing. So.
And what do you have a report of Kalon?
Well, I mean, you know, he's gone now. I mean, nobody seems to know where he went.
What?
So, but okay, so hold on, let's slow down. So, and then the other initiates are like looking around at each other, like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, and so Sindarian's looking at you. So, you know, I was trailing him every day. He was going, you know, I mean, he seemed to visit a lot of shops, the library a couple of times, and then he forced out his competitors. What was the name of that? The one?
I have. That's Seven Peaks, Sigil.
I have it too somewhere.
Omni-Key, Pathways, Sigil Hop.
Yeah, Sigil Hop. Sigil Hop is Kalon's.
Right. Nothus was Pathways. And Omni-Key was Tyne.
He made these, how do I say it? Like these guardians. Right? And so they kind of took over the portals, like the mechanical constructs. And then Nothus was the first one to like sell to him, but I don't think he had much choice. And then I know he had a meeting with the council, and that's all I tracked him. And then he kind of disappeared. His cousins are everywhere still.
Just kind of, yeah. Well, right. So he disappeared. He has cousins everywhere. As soon as we stepped through the portal, one of his cousins went running off. I noticed nobody. Running off to see where his...
Oh, we know where he's going. He moved uptown into a manor house.
But he said he disappeared.
We haven't seen him, but we know where the cousins are at.
Where they're reporting to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well...
I mean, he was visiting Ramsey's Curiosities quite often before that. Before he disappeared.
These curiosities.
Do you have any reference there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, I use all soccer players.
Oh, that's what you know. Nice bridge between the two. Right?
Yeah.
That's not how you spell either of those.
Very nice.
Ramsey's for curiosity. All right. All right, Sindarian. Well, you've done a mediocre job here. I think you can.
Well, you didn't come back for weeks.
I know. Well, I was hoping that I could trust that you would maintain things in a reasonable manner here. But you can report back to Shenji. I'm sure he's got some new training for you to do now that the tournament is over and things have calmed down in town a little bit.
He looks a little crestfallen. I mean, like he's kind of looking around at like the initiates. He's like, but I'm master here. He seems to like get a little bit of like confidence.
Exactly.
Right.
You think you're the master here, which is why you need to go back and talk to Shenji and get whipped back into shape because you just feel like you've grown a little big for your britches, and all of the like it's time to shake out the power structure here. Drain the small.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna take that as intimidation.
Wow!
Go ahead and roll intimidation.
Are we paying him anything to do this? To do a better job than what he's doing?
Sorry.
11? He doesn't. I mean, he's not quite like you know what I mean. Like he's sitting at his desk and he sits up, I suppose, and like
you suppose.
It stands up slowly.
I want to say to Ravon. Remember this
That's
face.
the next one.
Remember this guy's face.
He's looking at her. She's looking at him. Should I get my lashes?
Yeah.
Your slaves are so unruly.
Actually, you should do that.
Yeah, that sounds hot as fuck. Do that.
You should absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
And he seems to put a little zip in his step now and like report back to the portal. The other initiates are looking around like...
Yeah, I want to call all the initiates together.
Okay.
I don't know what has been going on here, but the real master is back. And you'll be listening to me now. As you can see, Shenji was my pupil, is my pupil. Sendarian. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good kid. He just gets a little big for his britches sometimes.
A little confused.
I did leave him alone for quite a while. I could see where he might grow a little big for his britches. We're gonna knock him down a couple of pegs. In the meantime, I'm the new master. Actually, I'm the master. The old master, the new master, just like the old master. I'm the OG master.
Make a persuasion check. I'll take intimidation or persuasion.
Persuasion or intimidation. I don't have either of those. 19.
Oh, they're looking around and going, and they look at you. I mean, they're looking up at you. You know, you're all, okay. We've heard of you. I mean, he's always said he had a master EQ. I guess, well, what should we do now?
Well, it's been gone for a while. What's been going on here?
Centaurian's been having us follow. I mean, we were following Kalon up until about a week ago, until he, disappeared.
Oh, so he's only recently disappeared.
Yeah. He was in his workshop for a while constructing the golems that are out there guarding the portals now. So when you go up to one, quite dangerous things too. You have to pay a fee before you're allowed to go through. And I know he had a meeting with the council, and then he disappeared after that.
So we need to get ourselves a meeting with the council. Yes.
He disappeared after that.
Oh.
With the governors. He had a governors meeting. They don't have a council here. That's why I keep. Sorry, I got mixed up.
Gotcha.
Can we get a governor's meeting?
If you stand in line, queue up. Yeah. Get Higgins on.
Can we talk to Higgins? Yeah, Higgins and put the other Silverhand guy. Like, can we talk to some of the other?
Oh yeah, he's there too. Fenris is finally back in his hometown. You know what I mean? Like he's just in his tower.
That's so cool.
So what's Fenris got to say? How's
his name's Fenrir, wasn't it? It was something like that.
It was Fenrir. It was like it was Fenarius or Fenris or something.
Right. They're quite loud. I like to train in the morning. I remembered you were a bit more lax about things.
Yeah. Things are gonna get way more lax now that I'm here.
Did we bring the Lady Silverhand here to visit yet?
No, you
She's
haven't.
with me now.
No, you have the Lady Ravon with you.
Oh no, I haven't brought Silverhand. Right, Ravon.
Ravon's just looking around. They're all touching the vines.
Don't
pricks her finger
away from the carpet.
No, let her explore the carpet. It's a nice carpet.
Terry pushes you away from the carpet. Leo, Terry pushes you away from the carpet. Don't stand on the carpet. It's quite a long story.
The years shine bright.
There you go.
Who's that?
Wasn't Silverhand?
Well, yeah, and he is the Silverhand somehow.
Right.
He morphed to the Silverhand.
Wasn't he related or something? My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the brother. But Finthier is his first.
Finthier, that's what it was.
Silverhand is her married name.
There you go.
So funny. There's always a ray around.
Nah, there is. What next in Sigil?
We going to go talk to Higgins?
Yeah.
Yeah, Higgins and Finthier, and I don't know. I have to go see Jaoquin and see what's new in the. I got some money in my pocket. I killed a fucking holder. I got some money.
Let me know what you guys want to do first.
I was just talking to Higgins. Isn't he right here?
He's in the Great Library.
I like Higgins. We should go check him out.
And Silverhand's here too, and he's got. We're gonna call him Fenrir because I'm not gonna. If I keep saying Silverhand, it's not the Lady Silverhand.
Fenrir.
Right.
Fenrir is in his workshop, and he seems to be working on different enchantments and things like that. Yeah, so you make your way to the Great Library. Huge, Leo. You're still wide-eyed about everything that's going on. I mean, this building is massive, and there's just like big, huge incense sticks burning in front of it, and you're just. I mean, the sights here are just crazy. I mean, you see people walking on all fours. There's insect creatures.
Such a metropolis.
We show our
quite cosmopolitan.
Our statue in the foyer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Acquired that on a grand adventure.
Yeah.
We're collecting.
Never have I.
We didn't ask for it. It was installed without us.
That's right, that one.
The broken rat statue.
Oh, that's right. No, we did install one. That's right. We replaced it. That's right. We did.
That one back.
That's right. You were there for that.
And it's quite.
We found from the Green Dragon. Yes.
Right. That's right.
That's where I came into play.
That's right.
You find Higgins in his regular place, and you notice, like, instead of just his cot in the back here where he's got all his books, and now he seems to have built himself a bookshelf. So the books you guys have gotten have not just been, like, on the ground. They seem to be categorized and cataloged, and there's more than one cot back here. And, you know, as you walk back deeper into the library, you find Higgins has himself two little assistants that are helping him, you know, decipher books. And
These were the portal books, right? That told where all the portals and shit went?
there's a number of different maps and shit.
So many stories.
I know.
You guys, it's so crazy. I can't believe you remember all this shit. Oh, it's amazing. Okay. Higgins!
He looks quite startled. My God.
I know.
I thought my work was going to be for nothing, but...
You were before us.
And he starts showing you, and he's really excited. He starts talking really technical things about, like, Portal 1283. Looks like it travels to, like, 21837. And the World Tree. Isn't that fascinating?
What's the world tree? I can't talk.
It's the World Tree. It passes through all the plains like the river Styx.
We can get a portal there?
Passes through all the planes? Like, that would be like a good central
Really
hub
useful.
type thing? Like,
Well, I mean, you've heard of Yazrold, I can't pronounce it, but the World Tree is what the Norse mythology is built on, where, you know, in its roots is...
Oh, I love it.
We should definitely bring woo cakes there.
Roots is what?
fuck
The
yeah.
river Styx flows through its roots, and it's that's where the hell is, and then in its branches is like earth, and then above that, you know, the different planes in each of its branches, basically.
I love booze and brews and
So we just
tacos.
go there and real travel to any
Yes.
So then what's the point of the portals if you've got
I'm sold.
It's years of travel, like, you know what I mean. It's not a quick
tree
travel.
is?
Yeah, the tree is right. The portals are instant travel. The tree is, you know, infinite. It's beyond measure, basically.
It's not quick.
No, it's not a quick way to travel, but you could travel its branches to make it to different planes. Yes. Same way you travel the river Styx. Did you not know that? Planers, I forget. Sometimes.
What's a corn chip?
We're new. We're new. We usually go by boat or something.
I'm sure you could hire a tour company. They might be able to show you the tree. Yes.
Is it Kalon's tour company?
No, Kalon is not familiar with Kalon.
You're not familiar with Kalon?
No.
Don't worry about it. He's nobody.
I know.
Well, I feel like you ought to be familiar with Kalon. Like,
Was he familiar with Kalon?
oh, I
He's the
think
guy that kidnapped
if
you,
you're
right?
not,
Higgins?
Didn't he?
Yeah.
You're right. Yes, right.
Didn't he talk
Right.
or
He did.
whatever, at
I'm
least?
sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. Let's
Oh.
forget those 2 minutes.
I
Right.
totally forgot that entire thing.
So many storylines.
So
like you
many
said.
storylines to
Right.
keep straight.
Kalon, what does he have to do with this?
Well, he's in charge apparently of many of the portals in town at this point.
I don't make myself way out of the library very often. And you can see he doesn't. He has stacks and stacks of plates in the corner.
That's good. You stay right where you're at. We need you here.
This isn't very helpful.
This is good. No, this is good. I think this is going to be good because we'll be able to figure out how to connect, how all the portals are connected.
Yeah, he has maps between different, you know, connections. Like, there are places now in the plains you could probably travel that you wouldn't have been able to travel before because he's found different doorways from Sigil to that location.
God bless his heart. Good work, Higgins. Thank you for your ceaseless efforts on behalf of the portals.
Have you tried Pixie Mead?
No, I have not. I don't.
You and your buddies go. You should take a day off. Have some Pixie Mead.
Be cool.
And he's just beaming with your praise. Like, he seems really, really...
Well, you put in some work. Like, this is... And I'm sure we're going to use this in the future.
Right. And I'm talking about, there's scrolls and scrolls of maps. Like the map in... God, what's my favorite movie? Not my favorite movie, but... Time Bandits. Yeah, totally. So there's a bunch of maps, like Time Bandit maps, that are just, hung up with little portals, like, crisscrossing everywhere.
That's a good one.
Bring me the map.
Exactly.
Well, I have to watch that.
All right.
You never
been a
seen
while.
Time Bandit?
I have it on DVD. I have seen Time Bandit,
It's great, John. Please.
but it has been a really long time.
Yeah, I want to watch it too.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Right.
I'll bring my friend over.
Okay.
We got this. Let's watch it.
Okay. So, I mean, just a ton of these. They're like hanging all over the books and things like that.
Yeah, Higgins, you've outdone yourself, my friend. And so,
He seems to have brought in a cartographer and an actual,
these are good acquisitions. Do you need anything? Is there anything that we can provide for you to make this, do you need?
Could we do a woo cakes on wheels for Higgins and every other day bring him some woo cakes from the stand at the casa?
I think we should bring woo cakes to Sigil. I think Sigil could use some woo cakes.
Well, we do have the stand right there at the casa.
You built a stove and stand at the casa.
That's right. We did build a stove and all of the. That's right. We did do that.
Revenue.
Yeah, Sindarian though doesn't seem to have been operating that very
well. Sindarian, I may have to find myself a new apprentice. Sindarian I might hand him over to Lady Ravon.
Here's your poison tester.
Here, my friend.
No. Higgins is quite. But yeah, well, of course, we would love the Wookakis.
What?
Wookakes?
Did you just say Wookak?
I did. I tried not to. That's why I got caught. I was saying it, and then the man who was saying it was like, "Don't say Wookaki. Do not say Wookaki."
Don't say it. Oh, gross. It's so bad.
So many crab cakes!
It's something we do to college age girls on their birthdays.
If it's your birthday, you get a Wookaki.
Sauce everywhere,
That's terrible.
Awful.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Children.
Alright.
Hilarious. I feel like you need a cigarette after that. I feel like it was salty.
By the Wookaki.
I mean, you gotta have salt.
Crab cakes are going to be like a trigger for me from now on.
Traumatized by crab cake.
I'm assuming that's where I wrote urchin down, really in bold last week, and I was like, what does urchin mean?
I think
it's okay, don't worry about it. With the exclamation point.
You were gonna turn into an urchin, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
It was gonna be your animal messenger. Is it gonna be the urchin?
Apparently, you guys thought that was funny and wrote it in.
I did.
With an exclamation point.
What does urchin mean? Well,
It was it's bold. I was like, that means something that I don't know right now.
No, it's literally an urchin.
literally.
Right after my arrow beast slang, which I still have not been able to use.
You should write portal maps down. You have some portal maps now that might help you find locations.
Under my gear.
Under your gear.
All right.
Gear.
He's a messy guy.
He's doing it on purpose.
No, he's not. It's just what he eats.
Yeah.
Where do you put gear?
Bird.
I started a page in my book so I can keep track of everything.
Well, and because you're going to erase so many times a gear.
Yeah.
Gear?
There, you're supposed to do it
the second page.
Yeah, right here somewhere.
Yeah, there. These are for spells, and I usually write it like you have your cloak of protection here, your potion. This is sort of equipment.
Yeah.
Oh. So what do I get?
What am I writing?
Well, there's just a number of maps that you're not sure what they are. I mean, like Higgins, he keeps loading you guys. He keeps giving you maps. You're having to hold your arms out.
All right, Higgins, we're gonna have to figure out a way to like consolidate all this.
He's giving us the maps?
I'm not sure what to do with them.
Or even
you might want them on your travels. Is there a place? I would need a large space. Maybe we could hang them all up, but I'm not sure where I would do that at.
How large a space?
I mean, there's a ton of maps. I mean, you would need to,
hang them all up to connect them and show the diagram? Is that what you're saying?
Or to be able to view them all at once.
Yeah, like putting a puzzle together.
Yeah.
From all the maps, and that would make a big overview.
Well, we need a station, like a portal station.
Maybe like Minority Report.
So I've also found a number of demon names in the transcripts that you found. You found these in the Blood War, all the books. True demon names.
True demon names? What's the significance of that?
Names are power in the hells.
So, are you thinking the demons are connected to the portals?
It's just a number of the books you gave me were a genealogy of different lords of the hells, along with different portal locations.
What is badass?
Names are power?
That's what we need to have.
Should we go
That's exactly what we need. Now we've got a list of portal locations.
If we wanted to stop the Blood War, if a person wanted to stop the Blood War,
take over all the portals,
so they could terraform.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all coming together.
It's like circles. Yeah, it circles back.
You would need to know the family lineage so you can take out the families, right?
Yes.
You need to
I think that's so great.
Have you seen Guardian of the Galaxy too?
I think that's what we're laying out.
Oh my god.
So like, I kind of want to blow your mind a little bit. We should train the fucking ninjas to fucking do this. So we all go in there with all these ninjas and fucking just get out.
Then EQ, nobody's quite seen the hand, the fist as much as you have. That's your elite Whisper Corps, you know what I mean? Like, you have some trained ninjas in your dojo.
Right.
You fought a few of them, they're not terrible.
Okay, no. Right. Yeah, but... Yeah. Okay. So maybe we could go fucking terraform the Grey Ways.
Maybe we can. Maybe that can happen.
That would be fucking awesome.
It would be really fun.
I'll turn it into unicorns. I really want to put unicorns in the Grey Ways.
It'd be so great. Unicorns in the Grey Ways. Yay!
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, I'd like to figure out...
unicorns?
Well, what sort of...
I've heard of them, yes.
Information on unicorns would be awesome if you run into it.
I will set somebody doing the research.
Yes.
And what sort of facility would you require if you were head here?
Perhaps somewhere private, maybe a small apartment or something where we could spread out and do research. I would say at one of the academies, but...
All right. Would you prefer to stay on this plane?
In the city itself.
In the city itself. Okay. All right.
Some
we'll
of
keep that
us
in mind.
are not as adventurous, and we have been here
I'll keep that in mind.
all the time.
Thank you for your work, Higgins.
No.
I mean, I don't know. There's somebody else.
No. That sounds good to me.
We'll try and find you a place where you can expand, because your work is very valuable here.
I bet we have room for him, right?
Somewhere. That's what I'm thinking too. Like
maybe build something near the treehouse or something.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Near the treehouse or in the treehouse. Like now that fucking.
So you found a list of demon true names.
List of demon true names.
Very cool.
Robin's
Drawing?
process.
Might do it all drawing.
Yeah.
And you guys make your way out of the library.
Okay.
Just the sounds and smells of the city will hit you. The different kinds of meats.
I want to look around and see if I see any cousins.
You know. Make a perception check.
14.
You don't happen to see any of them with their angular features. Look like rats.
I'm always looking around now.
Right. Okay.
Well, it looks like rats.
Most of the cousins have like long noses.
Do we look for thieves here?
Look for what?
Thieves?
Did we need
Do
to
whatever
ask
you want.
Higgins about getting...
How would that benefit us?
Two questions. What's going on?
Yeah. Somebody finish their thought.
Right.
Charlie, go.
Do we need to ask Higgins about making an appointment with the council or whatever it is we need to meet with? The Grand Poobahs? Or are we not doing that?
The governors.
Yeah, the governors.
The governors.
Yeah, we should probably mention that to Kalon.
For what purpose?
Well, we understand that Kalon has taken over a majority of the portals in town, and then met with the
Nasty man, I hope not.
and then met with the council of governors and disappeared. So
It's not a council of governors, it's a governor committee. We'll call it.
tomato. And I know how much you like to stand in line and red tape.
We're born to queue.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. Is there? I don't know. Could you find somebody that would be interested in finding out some more about how the portals are working now in Sigil?
Are we privy to the notes of the council? Can we see what happened?
I would do some research.
Thank you.
Public records
Yeah.
could be quite extensive. That might be 3 or 4 queues.
Well, don't get too excited.
Right. So he starts grabbing a few things. His walking stick, and he starts to. I'll go right away to the Hall of Records.
Pass it along. That was one. All right.
He says, Egbert, continue your research.
Egbert, my man.
And then Higgins kind of leaves you standing in the library, just staring at all these like portal maps that he's got hung up. And
Well, we need to find him a place. I think we should build him
and you're looking at the sheer amount of work, you know. And Terry's like, we have been gone for a long time.
And I feel like we should build like a proper station at some point where he could be like the station master or something.
We have the resources to do so.
We're getting there, definitely.
So what's next?
Anybody got an idea? I'd like to go see Jaoquin.
Yeah.
See
That's a good idea.
Esteban. Touch base with all our people on this side of the portal.
Who first?
Not me. I don't know any of these people.
Esteban or
Let's do Esteban first and get that behind us because that's all the political stuff, and then we can go talk with Joaquin.
and play.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pee. Joaquin.
Esteban first?
No, Esteban.
You make your way to Esteban's manor house. A number of guards outside of it. Cousins scatter there across the street, and they scatter a little bit when they see you coming. And you know, I mean, the servants recognize you at this point. Yes, wait here, and he'll be here in a minute. And then you wait in his little waiting room that he has. It's a pretty open air manor, and he's got lots of large.
Okay,
So,
where are we?
you just walked into Estefan's office, got ushered in by some of his servants in his manor house. My friends,
Esteban.
it is so good to see you. And he makes his way. Please, drinks.
This is the Lady Ravon. I'd like to introduce you to my
He
friend.
stops and he walks around the desk. And Estefan's, he's a big, tall guy, right? So he's a little bit taller than you, like towering over. It's so nice to meet you, and he like kisses her hand. Of course, a friend of EQ's and everyone's is a friend of mine. The Tequila Run. These are my friends. Have you come to fulfill your contract?
I thought we did fulfill our
We
contract.
still have one more.
We still have one more.
Yes, we have. That, among other things. We have much business back. We've been away for a long time. We have a lot of business back here. But your Kalon's been
Much has
very
changed.
busy.
Yes.
What's he
So what's that about, dear Esteban?
Well, some of my contacts told me he's had a meeting with the governor's
That's what we heard
committee.
too.
Yes. He's basically ran off Omnipass and Pathways, taking over their portals. Built great machines to protect them. They require payment if you go near. And then
with the blessing of the governor's council?
Not quite. He only has a limited time to find a key that is universal. Because now he has many keys, but not one key.
Why does he only have a limited time to do that? Who's put that constraint on him?
The Committee of Governors.
Why?
Who knows? Committees. So after that time, somebody else can then submit their bid.
Oh. So he doesn't own the portals?
No, it's operating in the, how do we say, a gray area. It's
probationary.
Yeah. He has many contacts with the Harmonium, and they don't bother him, and he does what he wants. But the governors, at some point, they want the cut of the money. You know how it is, my friend.
So everybody's...
Of course.
Everybody's got a different key right now?
Each portal requires a different key.
Are there any theories about what a universal key might be or what it might look like?
Assuming that Kaelon was working for one. I know he was visiting many places in the city. I'm not sure exactly where they were, but looking for information for this key. I heard he was obsessed with it.
Rats. But you don't personally know anything about it.
That is beyond me. The arcane things.
Right.
I'm a simple merchant.
So universal key is the...
So tell me.
The universal key.
Has Lady Silverhand mentioned me?
Oh, all the time. Nothing but glowing things to say about you.
Make a deception check.
Shit. Nine.
You are a good friend. Protect my feelings. I see. But she was always such a stubborn one.
She just doesn't seem to have, like, Waterdeep is busy right now. There's a lot going on. Relationships, the matters of the heart are far from her mind.
Oh, I was never the most important. I understand. That sounds like Silver. I'm good.
What?
Mine up, I swear to God.
No.
And drinks arrive to you guys on a little tray, so everyone brings them in.
Of course they do.
See you. Oh.
Mine are empty. I empty mine.
Mine's empty. No, it's not.
You kidding me? I always find it.
I have a little halfer in there.
That's fine.
See? You don't give her a hard time.
No.
It isn't a thing with her yet. This is the first night that something hasn't been spilled.
I get to wake up at 6 in the morning and go to work.
That's
wow.
I'm cool.
You're a trooper.
So, what is it you plan to do?
I play.
Well, this lovely lady that you see, she's a master poisoner. So we were thinking of trying to sneakily.
Checks out, my friends.
With the grog.
I mean, isn't that how you hear it? Isn't that what you've heard? A good way to get rid of rats? I mean, I don't know.
You send in the exterminator.
And you send the poison, right? The poisoner.
Good idea.
And she's looking at you like this is the first time she's heard of this at all.
Well,
you want me to do what?
Oh.
Well, you've already sort of given me some poisons. Like, you already gave me a couple poisons. I just kind of wanted you to
some of the best.
Yeah. And I intend to use them for a good purpose. This is, and I just wanted you to see where your poisons weren't just arbitrarily. You weren't just arbitrarily being made. Like,
it's quite impressive. Who are the masters here? Is he one of them?
Ask him.
Yeah, boy.
I am but a humble servant. Just a simple merchant. So not him.
No. So,
I would like to meet this Kalon. He seems like he's quite enterprising.
Yeah, you will meet him.
So are we telling Estefan about our plot to kill Kalon? Is that the idea?
Oh, I think he's totally in on it, right?
Okay.
Who, Estefan? Yeah, he got screwed over by Kalon.
Okay. So
Yeah.
He's in.
I mean, Amanda's cousins.
we are deciding on one of many ways that we've devised to take out Kalon.
So it sounds like this universal key is a key to one key to rule all the portals. That's what the problem is right now.
Yes, each portal requires a different type of key, so I know Kalon was searching for it. He's quite, I do have to hand it to him, he's quite genius with the mechanics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but,
So he's trying to engineer a key.
I do not know. That is beyond my knowledge. I do know he was searching around in many different shops with sages and different adventurers looking for something for some time.
Sounds like we have some hunting around to do.
Anything else I can help with? When will you come fulfill your bargain?
Very soon.
Yes. After we eliminate Kalon.
Please, not too long.
No.
No, but we did just click back and signal, so give us a minute to get our feedback.
Of course, darling. No offense. No offense.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again. Good to see you. We missed you.
Good. I hope our business can continue.
I'll make sure to tell Silverhand you were asking about her.
No. Do not mention. Do not mention I mentioned. We will see if she asks about me.
Okay. All right. Balls in her court. Got it. I like it.
And then let me know when you're ready to fulfill your quest and anything else I can do. But now I have business. I mean, it's a couple of people actually waiting in his little chamber. His next little meeting.
Okay.
So.
Good to see you, Esteban. We'll be seeing you shortly.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Later, Esteban.
Yeah. And you guys make your way out of his manor house. Where to next?
Joaquin, right?
Mm-hmm. What time is it?
You've been talking about how you got...
I'm just observing, taking all of this in.
Right. And it is quite crazy, yeah. I mean, at one point, a giant just walks past, and nobody's looking. You know what I mean? It's not even crazy to people. You're like, what the fuck?
1050.
Ooh. Yeah. You make your way to.
Not bad, people. That's pretty good for 1050.
Yeah. Jeez.
You make your way to Joaquin's.
Joaquin!
It is so good to see you. Where have you been?
One day we'll sit and have a drink and we'll talk about where we've been.
I'm sure I'd be quite fascinated.
You should come through our portal sometime. You should come to through our portal sometime to Waterdeep, to our home. Wow. It's actually not far from here. You might be actually able to acquire some.
My shop is my life. Quite satisfied here.
Alright.
But can I show you some of my new wares?
Fucking A.
Totally.
Do it.
And he points in. This is a mantle of spell resistance. It will give you advantage against saving throws. It does require attunement.
It's a cloak?
It's a mantle, so it's just over your shoulders. Yeah. 3,150 gold pieces.
What is it?
Advantage on saving throws? Advantage on saving throws.
Against spells, right?
Against spells, yeah.
Advantage on saving. Oh, that's pretty fucking good. Advantage on saving throws against spells. That's pretty awesome. All right, 3,000 something.
3,150.
Because I have some gold from the bowl.
How much do you have? What does everybody have attuned now? What 3 items do you have attuned?
Did we decide that my axe had to be attuned?
Yes.
And my axe and my 2 rings.
Oh, I'll tell you what. It requires attunement. Yeah, weapon and any sword. Yeah.
And a ring of protection and a ring of feather fall.
Okay.
I have my crystal ball.
And a shield. What is your shield?
It's +1.
attuned.
I don't think you have any attuned things yet. No, your cloak of protection. Cloak of protection? Is that it?
No.
Yeah, so you have one tune. You have 3 things attuned. You only have 1 thing right now.
Why did I wrote portal and map? So.
I have some.
Map, because we got a bunch of map portals just now.
That's not like it.
And then those boots don't need a tune.
No, they don't. They don't.
It's in your equipment though. You just kind of need to. It's all gonna be mixed up.
Which it makes them great.
They're fabulous.
Yeah.
Just kind of gotta remember.
Some of the things that don't need attunement, that's what makes them great magic items.
No. Yeah, like my fan.
Right.
The javelin and shit.
Yeah, does my magic candle? I don't think it does.
Your magic what?
Candle of invocation.
No.
I thought amulet of X-ray vision. Does that mean attunement? I don't know any of these things.
Amulet of X-ray vision. They also have demon armor. Here, and you guys look over this piece of armor, and it's like got like spikes all off of it. It's like a heavy plate armor, and it also like its gloves are actual. They look like they're spikes, like you could attack with them. It gives you +1 bonus to your AC and its plate armor. It allows you to speak Abyssal. In addition, the armor's clawed gauntlets turn unarmed strikes with your hands into magic weapons that deal slashing damage with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls and a damage die of 1d8.
Wow. That's fucking crazy.
However, if you ever come across a demon, it will be weak against it. It knows its master. It was forged in the hells and will not attack demons. Meaning you get disadvantage on all attacks against demons if you're wearing it.
That sounds kind of useful.
3,850 for you, of course. And then I have some magic beans. No clue.
Really?
Really?
No.
I agree with you, Cherry.
No what?
I do not know what they do. I have to confess.
Of course you don't.
3,250.
Well, you don't know what they do and you want 3,000. Where do they come from? Like, what's the story on
Can't I
these
cast
beans?
identify on them or something? I'm gonna be able to do that.
Do you want to do that right now? You're gonna ask him if you can do that to his magic beans?
No, you don't need to cast it. Identify. You want 3,000 for those beans? I need a fucking elevator pitch. You better sell me those beans, motherfucker.
I've heard beans can do many things. Some of them grow to great heights and to different planes even. Though some will just sprout into
The tree.
fields of corn. It's quite random, really.
That sounds like something that would be badass in a flower shop. I'm just saying. Man, I might just buy those beans just because I like random shit. And we have a flower shop.
It does sound pretty cool.
And I did get a bunch of money from that beholder.
Did you?
I mean, we should probably all split it up, but it was
I
like.
wasn't there.
Perhaps a headband of intellect. This will make you much smarter. It will give you an intelligence of 19 while you wear it.
Does it require attunement?
I will check.
Intelligence of 19?
Wow.
You mean you could have a plus for your
Yes,
investigation?
it does require to.
Yeah, right? How much is that one?
3,650. I have these pair just in. I think you'll be interested. And he pulls out a pair of boots, and they got little wings on the side of them. And then he says a little command word, and they just start like flying around, and they like kind of fly around the shop and around you guys.
Flying boots.
These are the winged boots.
How fun is that?
Who's getting winged boots? What do they do?
While you wear these boots, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can use the boots to fly up to 4 hours, all at once or in several shorter flights. If you are flying when the duration expires, you descend at a rate of 30 feet per round until you land. The boots regain 2 hours of flying capacity for every 12 hours they aren't in use. So you can fly up for up to 4 hours at your walking speed. They require attunement. Tekla, those sound terrible.
Yeah, I don't want them.
No.
I'm not really trying to fly. That seems silly. No, keep
Nobody, no takers.
Ground.
I might like that.
This fabulous item. 4,500.
4,500 gold.
That's a lot. I picked up
I don't have that much gold.
52.32 from
Let's
the
trade
beholder.
too.
So we should probably split that up.
5,000.
Yeah, 5,232 gold from them.
I was wondering, because I was like, I don't feel like I've been recording gold, because I don't have that much.
Yeah.
I only have like.
So that's how much I picked up from the beholder, and we still have 2 silver swords. Yeah, that were ornate silver swords. So check out these silver swords I picked up, Joaquin. What do you think of these ornate silver swords?
Fantastic quality.
And
So
this-
will somebody figure out what our equal share of that 5,000?
well, let's sell all our shit, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Are we gonna sell the swords? At one point, we talked about decorating with them.
Oh,
I'll give you 750
750?
each.
So 1,500 altogether.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. So that puts us at 6,700.
67.32.
What about that comb you got?
Don't touch my comb.
It could be worth something.
We have a gold idol still. What's the gold?
Same.
750?
Yes.
Oh?
Let me show you the marksmanship here. It looks a bit sloppy in the seams.
That's because it's handmade.
I've got to make a profit too.
Oh, of course. But and you know what, Joaquin? You've been very good. Very good at us. So what? So sure.
She talking in there? I hear it too. You're gonna sell that too?
742 is that where we're at?
Yeah.
74.82.
74.
So when are we making an even 7,500
Yeah.
for everything?
Yeah.
Do we want more?
That's all we have in the group.
Well, we also have a group fund of 11,000.
Well, I have some personal money too, right?
Yeah. Right.
So are we splitting?
Yeah, let's figure that out. The
I almost died at the beholder. I want a fucking shave.
Yeah, right. So split the 75. All right. So
I'm just saying.
I wasn't there. How do you
Wait a minute.
Huh? There was 4 of you there?
Yeah, so it's going to be 768 from Joaquin to make that work.
768 each.
No. Now I'm dividing 7,500 by however many of us we are.
6, right?
Yeah, it's a party.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a party. Yeah.
1250.
1250.
Yep.
2. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
In gold, we all get that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got some gold. I'm rich, bitch.
I'm still not.
42.
It's a trifle amount, really.
How much is that headband?
The headband. It would look quite lovely on you too. 3,650.
What else would that give me to have an intellect of 18?
It's just going to give you, on your ability checks and saving throws, it's going to make you that much better. So it'll give you a higher roll on, say, investigation.
It's not going to give me a better, like, DC or spell cast or any of that stuff.
No, because wisdom's your primary strength. Speaking of which, I do have a tome of understanding.
What is that?
If you read this book and study it, it'll increase your wisdom score by 2 for 4,500 gold pieces.
Can you go above a 20?
No.
Yes, you can.
Can you?
By non.
What's your wisdom?
You can't do it by yourself, but you can do it.
Oh, that's cool.
So +2 to wisdom.
Yes.
And it was for how many? 4 something.
That's fun.
4,550.
Thank you.
What would that go up to in intelligence for investigation if you had an 18? How do I look that up?
A 19, you'd have to look it up. It's going to be +5. And it's going to be for everything. It's going to be for the saving throws on there and everything else. I also have a robe of scintillating colors. Fantastic thing. Demonstrate it. Shield your eyes a bit. And he puts it on.
Put my goggles on.
Okay. To what?
Night vision.
Night vision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark vision. What is it? What I have? Dark vision.
Dark vision. Well, you switch to dark vision, and because you do that, it's even brighter. It's like infrared, and you're like, so like you're blinded a little bit. This robe has 3 charges, and it's like scintillating and swirling around. While you wear it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cause the garment to display shifting pattern or dazzling hues. So the robe glows for 30 feet. And any creature that can sees it has to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or become stunned until the next round.
Any creature? Like everybody that's around it?
Is stunned?
What's the range on it? How's the vision? How's that work?
30-foot radius.
30
Oh my
foot.
god, that's ridiculous.
So you could stun everything in a 30-foot radius on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
So I can teleport into the middle of everything and then stun it?
With your cloak.
Yep. 3,450 gold pieces. It does require attunement.
That's
3 charges? Does
3
it come
charges.
back?
Regain 1 die 3 expended charges daily at dawn.
Oh wow.
Nice.
If robes are your thing, I also have a robe with stars. It does require attunement. It's a very dark and black blue robe. You wear it, you get +1 bonus to saving throws. And it looks like it has 6 stars that are sitting on this cloak. And then like all kinds of other like little stars on it. And you can pull one of the stars off here and cast it as a magic missile at a 5th level spell.
What?
And daily at dusk, you regain 1 die 6 stars.
What?
That is badass.
How many stars are on it?
6, and you get 1 die 6 back at daily at dusk. And you can use it to cast magic missile at 5th level, and it gives you +1 bonus to saving throws.
What's the 1 dice? How many dice is that for? What's the damage on a
level spell?
Magic missile.
5th level magic missile?
It might be like 4 die 4, 3 die 4, something like that. Also, while you're wearing the robe, you can use an action to enter the astral plane along with everything you are wearing and carrying, and you remain there until you use an action to return to the plane you were on.
That is so
I'm out, bitches!
cool. I feel like I need this cloak.
I feel like
It's 5,250 gold pieces. Also, if you are interested in weapons, he pulls out this huge longsword.
1 die 4 + 1.
How much was the
I
cloak?
told you I restocked the store. There's all kinds of other shit.
That's a spell. Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
How much is the cloak? 5 what?
The robe of stars
Robe of stars.
is 5,250.
Thank you.
This is a weapon of warning, and like this he pulls out a sword, and it has like a carving of a mouth, like these metal mouths on each side. While you have this on your person, you have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, any of you or your companions within 30 feet of you cannot be surprised, except by incapacitated by something by non-magical sleep.
It's a sword?
It's a sword.
What's the damage on it? Is it like a long sword? Scimitar?
Sword, 3/4 OP
Katana.
scimitar. It's a scimitar. You or any of your companions within 30 feet, you can't be surprised. And the weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
You use a scimitar, don't you?
I do have one.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is 4,250 gold pieces. It does require attunement. I also have, and he has this huge 2-handed sword. Anyone a paladin? No? Paladins? No? Oh, it's too bad. Just is. I have this quiver. For just 2,850 gold.
Bargain price.
What does it do?
I'll read it to you. If I can find it. Sorry, everybody. I should have wrote all this stuff.
Oh, it's fun. That's fine.
Take your time. Shopping's great.
Yeah.
Right. What do you want to buy? Right.
I can find a discount. Can I earn a discount in your favor? Like you want to sponsor me and just have me wear your quiver as I go from tournament to tournament.
I mean, if you're right, Esteban,
this isn't
Joaquin's.
It's not a charity.
She's talking about marketing for you. This is a business proposition.
True, but I just market the items that come into me from other merchants and things that bring it.
We can get some Joaquin shit. Like
this does not require attunement. And each of the quiver's 3 compartments connects to an extra-dimensional space, allows the quiver to hold numerous items, and it doesn't weigh anything. The shortest compartment can hold up to 60 arrows. The mid-sized compartment holds up to 18 arrows, and the longest compartment holds up to 6 long objects such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
Whoa.
This
is it magical?
All in
Yeah.
that category.
It just like have your little arsenal in there.
Yeah.
How do I earn this at a discount?
Perhaps you have something to barter or trade?
Do you have anything? You've got some stuff.
You might have some stuff that you could. I have some shit that I might like to get rid of. I have an emerald. I have a meat hook.
Before we go anywhere else, let me show you this. And he pulls out this thing. It's just a hilt. And then he says a command word, and like a flame shoots out of it, but just like a bright like flame. And this is a longsword type weapon that requires attunement. And you use a bonus action to cause the blade to just pure radiance. And while it exists, you can use a longsword like it has the finesse property, meaning you can use it with dexterity instead of strength. And you're proficient in it if you're proficient with a short sword or a long sword. And you gain +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. And when you hit an undead with it, it takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. And it also sheds light 15 feet. 3850.
Is that fire though?
This is a stone of good luck.
I have an axe. Fire axe.
It requires attunement, but it does give you +1 to all your saving throws and your ability checks.
What's it called?
A luck stone.
And how much is that?
2,750.
Longsword? The radiant sword was a longsword?
Yes.
What's the DPS? Is it a D10?
Longsword's 1d8.
1d8.
All ability and what checks?
And did it radiant damage? Does it do some radiant?
Ability scores, ability checks, and saving throws. Go ahead.
Does it do any damage besides the normal damage? Does it do like radiant?
It does radiant damage, but not an extra radiant damage unless you're attacking undead. Then it does an extra radiant damage. So many things. I can't remember what I told you before because there's a
the
ton of
sword
stuff
takes
in here.
attunement. Yes.
It does. Yes. I mean, there's a mace +1 that doesn't require attunement. If you're for the budget shopper, 1,550.
What does it do?
It's just a +1 mace.
No, it's +1 mace.
There's a staff of the adder. You throw it on the ground, it becomes a snake.
That sounds cool. How much is that?
4,300. There's a wand of the war mage +2. It adds +2 to all your spell attack rolls. That is 2,250.
I've got 4,285 right now.
There's an oath bow, which is a bow.
But it's taken a long time. Like, only recently have I started getting money. And we have a group fund.
We do.
If we need to borrow some from petty cash or whatever.
Oh. Well, and I thought have more.
Okay, so this oath bow, you can have a sworn enemy with it, and you can only have one sworn enemy each 7 days. And when you make a sworn enemy, then any attack rolls against it you have advantage on, and they cannot benefit from any cover. And you suffer no disadvantage to long range. And if that attack hits, your sworn enemy takes an extra 3d6 piercing damage.
3d6?
While your sworn enemy lives, you have disadvantage on any attack rolls with all other weapons.
You have to use your bow.
Yeah, 3,250.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's really fucking cool.
I have a dwarven thrower. That might interest you, Tekla.
What is
That's pretty cool.
It is a
You gotta keep changing your sworn enemy too. It's not like you have to like commit. You get 1 week.
You are now my sworn enemy.
Right.
A dwarf. This requires attunement.
So does the sworn enemy thing work? Like, do you get like a specific person, or is it like a race?
No, specificity. A certain entity or person.
But you get to change it every 11 days.
7. So you wait till you get to the boss fight, and then you look
and you say, "I hate you."
Yes, right. Or you say, "Kalon," before you die.
That's fucking.
A dwarven thrower. You gain +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. It has a throw property with a normal range of 20 feet and 60 feet long range.
What is this?
When you hit with a ranged attack using this weapon, it deals an extra 1d8 damage, or if the target is a giant, 2d8 damage. Immediately after the attack, the weapon flies back to your hand. So you get +3 attack bonus to attack and damage rolls, and then it does an extra 1d8 damage, or 2d8 if it's a giant.
What kind of a weapon is it?
So what does that mean?
It's a dwarven thrower. It's this dwarven hammer. It's like
a throwing hammer.
Yeah. So hammers do 1d8 damage. So you're going to do 2d8 damage with that attack when you throw it.
That's pretty awesome.
Ooh, a range attack.
How much is that?
No, but it's only one throw, right?
One throw per, and then it comes back, right?
It comes back.
But like one throw per the attack action. Not you can't make 4 attacks or 3 attacks
per turn. Right.
2,950. It does require attunement.
You don't have a thrown weapon.
Goggles of the night to see at night. You have something similar, I take it?
I do. I've got these great goggles. I can switch this shit up a little bit. Yeah.
What do they do?
Awesome.
I can have dark vision, click, or I can have I have it written down right here. Or zoom lens, or I can zoom in and see far away, or I can see invisibility 15 feet around me.
When you click to the invisibility, you want to make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Whoa.
You look over at the Lady Ravon.
She's naked. Can I see her?
Well, she's not a lady anymore, though.
Oh no! She's naked. I took it off.
You ruined my dreams, man.
She looks like this creature that's just this, like tentacles, just like one eye. Just kind of like standing there.
Alright, that's not so bad.
Alright.
Can I see? Can we see it or not? No.
I don't see anything.
Tentacle board.
I have a parapet of proof against poison. I love your goggles, by the way. If you ever want to sell them, let me know.
That's no wonder goggles.
A lantern of revealing.
Wait. What was the last thing you said? Something.
A parapet of proof against poison.
What the fuck, Preston? I slept with her. You were smoking.
That's funny.
A parapet of proof against poison will give you resistance to poison. 2,425.
You're a weirdo, dude.
I'm the weirdo.
Yes. You are the fucking weirdo.
There's a ring of regeneration.
What does it do? Oh, I love it.
Every 10 minutes you regain 1d6 hit points.
Wow.
Does require attunement.
How much is that?
3,150.
Who dies all the time?
Alright.
Wait, wow, look at that.
Right.
What is it? What
A
happened?
ring of regeneration.
You regain 1d6 hit points every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy.
How much?
3,150. You guys bought the mirrors, didn't you?
Yes.
A chime of opening, 1,500 gold. You ring it and it opens any doorways.
1,500? That's pretty awesome.
That might be interesting just to have as a party.
Yeah, Terry, you should totally buy that.
I thought we had a general fund. Didn't we just get a general fund?
True.
I don't even get to make a persuasion check?
You're forced
No.
to go to I love it.
Staff of Thunder and Lightning. Anyone interested?
What does it do?
Cast lightning bolts or
Thunderwave.
a cascade of sharks. Thunder wave. Yes.
Really? How many charges?
Let me look it up.
Staff?
My Joaquin, you've been a busy man.
A staff of what?
I haven't. Some of this was
Lightning?
Lightning and thunder.
This staff can be wielded as a magic quarter staff. Requires attunement that grants +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. It also has the following additional properties.
Wait, slow down.
Yeah.
+2 to attack and damage rolls.
Yes.
Attack and damage rolls.
Yes.
It's a quarterstaff?
It is, yes.
Okay.
When one of these properties is used, it can't be used again until next dawn. Oh, fuck, alright. Lightning. So there's lightning, thunder, lightning strike, thunderclap, and then thunder and lightning. So once you use one of these, you can't use it until the next dawn.
Okay, but you could use all of them before that.
Yes, so one of the things, lightning, when you hit with a melee attack using the staff, you can cause the target to take an extra 2d6 lightning damage. When thunder is, when you hit with a melee attack using the staff, you can cause the staff to emit a crack of thunder. The target you hit must succeed on a DC Constitution saving throw or become stunned until the end of your next turn.
Oh, shit.
Lightning strike, you can use an action to cause a bolt of lightning to leap from the staff's tip in a line that is 5 feet wide and 120 feet long. Each creature takes a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or must take 9d6 lightning damage on a failed save.
9d6?
9d6, so you get a lightning bolt. You can use an action to cause the staff to issue a deafening thunderclap, audible out to 600 feet. Each creature within 60 feet of you, not including you, must make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. That's the saving throw for everything. Or it takes 2d6 thunder damage and becomes deafened for 1 minute. Then thunder and lightning. You can use an action to use the lightning strike and thunderclap properties at the same time. Doing so doesn't expend the daily use of those properties, only the use of this one.
What was that last bit?
Both at the same time?
It allows you to use the thunderclap and the lightning strike.
And how do you do that? Expends 2 charges?
No, it just
This is that one charge.
Yeah, you get one. Yeah, you can just do it once per day. Damn, that's pretty badass.
Wow, how much is that?
That is. I don't know. What's the price on this? He's yelling at one of his stock boys. 4,250.
Fuck.
Joaquin, something a little lower, is it? Tell me a price range, because maybe we should go that way.
Oh, this is good. Just a lot of stuff.
Staff of healing. Should that interest anybody?
Oh, what's that?
Requires attunement by a bard, cleric, or druid, and it has 10 charges. While holding it, you can use one action. You can use an action to expend one or more of its charges to cast one of the following spells from it, using your spell save DC and spellcasting modifier. So you use your stats. You have to be a bard, cleric, or druid, and cure wounds cost 1 charge per spell level up to 4th. Lesser restoration costs 2 charges, and mass cure wounds costs 5 charges.
Ooh, that's fucking cool.
And how many charges does it have?
10, and it regains 1d6 plus 4 at dawn. If you use the last charge, you roll a die 20. On a 1, it vanishes in a flash of light.
That's a cool one.
And what is it? A staff?
Yeah, a staff.
What's the
4,250.
What's it called?
A staff of healing.
so the lightning and thunder staff? It's normal damage. This is quarterstaff damage.
Quarterstaff damage, yes.
Okay. It's a die 6, die 8.
Die 6, one-handed. Die 8, two-handed. Yep. Thinking about taking that instead of your.
Well, I would see having both, and using one until you used up all the charges, and then switching or whatever,
Right, depending upon the opponent.
Yeah.
Having like a golf club bag.
Yeah, right. Having like a golf bag.
Yep.
Pull out my putter or my fucking driver, A long game and my short game.
Right. There's a lantern of revealing.
Are you to buy a few things?
Oh, I can't afford it any more than just that.
which you open it and it reveals any invisible creatures in the area.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Sees that all the time.
How much is that?
1,950. It burns in a 30-foot reason. Invisible creatures, objects are visible as long as they're in the lantern's bright light.
What's everybody like attracted to? Does anybody want to buy anything?
I have a ring of jumping. Allows you to cast the jump spell, 1,950 gold. As a bonus action each turn, you can cast the jump spell. Of course, I have a number of potions, as you know.
Of course.
I'm gonna send this list around.
Okay.
Maybe that'll help. You take a look at it, and then ask me, you know what I mean, and then say, hey, what is that? And it won't help Tally, but... Tally, you looking to buy anything?
I am, but I'm trying to find it. A while ago in my notes, I came across a studded harness that had some attributes, and I couldn't tell in my notes whether it was something that we had come upon and it didn't say who was wearing it, or whether I had seen it at Jaoquin's and was going to come back and buy it when I had the money. So I'm frantically trying to go through my notes to find it, but I'm not having success right this time.
And what was it?
It was studded leather armor.
That was magical?
Yes, it had magical properties, and it was in the 2,000 range, I believe, in price, 20-something.
2850. It's shrouded studded leather armor +1. So it's studded leather armor, but it gives you one better armor class than regular studded leather armor, and it doesn't look like you're wearing it. Like, it looks like just your regular clothes.
If you want to look at that.
Okay.
That's a bunch of cool stuff.
I'm kind of passing around the list and letting you guys ask me about things.
What's the poison dagger?
Well, it's a dagger of poison, so like if you stab somebody with it and you roll a 20, it's automatically poisoned. With whatever you put in the hilt.
Tell you what, I'm going to be in town next week, and I'll look at the list and then I'll figure out what I need to do about Jaoquin.
Do you want me to take a picture of the list and send it to you?
Nah, because I'll be there in a couple of days.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Do you want to know more about that shrouded studded leather?
Shrouded what?
Tally?
Yeah, I think I do. But I think I have it in my notes, and I just I'll sit here one day.
That's so funny.
What's the iron flask?
So I've been watching their body language, and they're very happy, and they're having their own little dance over there.
Really?
Cloak of the Manta Ray, what does that do?
Wait, hold on. Let me get into the iron flask first. Iron flask. This iron bottle is a brass stopper. You can use the action to speak the flask command word. Basically, it's holding some sort of like entity that you can have it come out once you unflask it. And it obeys your commands for 1 hour.
Poopymon?
Some kind of entity? Yeah, right? Like a poop ball? Poopy ball?
Yeah,
some sort of entity.
That was
typically they're usually some sort of like extraplanar creature, which does include demons and devils.
What could go wrong?
Right.
Okay. What does the Cloak of the Manta Ray do?
I was wondering that too.
Gotta be swimming.
That's what I was thinking. I'm hoping.
Swim speed.
While wearing this cloak with its hood up, you can breathe underwater, and you have a swimming speed up to 60 feet.
Does it have to be changed?
Nope.
Oh fuck, I do.
Oh, wow.
I want that.
Cool.
Okay, I'm buying a Cloak of the Manta Ray.
How much is it?
2250.
How much money do you have?
I have about 4. 3, 9, 5.
Anybody else?
I have to make a deal somewhere because I can't quite afford what I want.
Do you have anything to borrow? Did you find anything?
Oh, remember you guys, we have this general fund too. Like,
Yeah, if you need
What
to
did you
borrow
say the
some.
cloak of the manta ray does?
Breathe
You can
underwater.
breathe underwater and you have a swimming speed up to 60 feet.
Swim.
You won't fly, but
Yeah, fuck no.
Oh,
I'll
we just
swim.
swim,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
love it.
Heather, did you say you have a question?
Leo wanted to buy a quiver.
The quiver of Alana?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you buy the quiver?
Yay, this is the coolest shit ever.
Wait,
this is
wasn't there
real
a-
life so fucking bad. That
Wasn't there a bow too?
There is a bow.
Look at that bow before you look at that
Oh,
quiver.
yeah, it was awesome.
That quiver is just like, I mean, it's sort of cool, but it just holds a ton of shit.
The bow was badass.
The bow is like, you're gonna be nuking.
Is the little one anything?
Don't I already?
Yeah, but now you can pick like, okay,
What is the staff of healing?
Kalon is
It's
my
10 charges
sworn
that
enemy,
we
and then
Oh,
you'll
shit.
do
That's a
extra
sworn
damage.
enemy?
Yeah,
Arrow?
really overpowered.
yeah, he'll do damage to that guy until he's dead.
Do you know what
right away.
Tally's staff
Am I
does?
ready for that?
Oh,
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. How much is it? Is it super
I
expensive?
have no idea.
It's $32.50.
I don't have 21.29. And I'm way off.
Yeah.
Which is why I was
Do you
like,
have any other magic weapons?
magic weapons.
Potions sometimes I will give credit on.
Oh, that's good to know.
What are my potions? Those aren't my spells.
Yeah, that's intriguing, right?
What?
Miscellaneous.
What'd you say?
What are my potions?
No, I'm just saying, do you have any of these?
I don't know. This one says potion. And that's it.
Yeah, she did have a potion. I don't know what kind of potion
Exactly.
it was. It was
Can I
What
say
kind
that
is it?
again? Staff of lightning?
The thunder
I
staff,
don't know
staff
what
of...
that potion was.
yeah, I don't still think we ever found out.
Right.
Maybe Joaquin can tell you.
It's a good one. Oh, you never found out? Of course I can identify. 150 is my common fee for identify.
Sure.
You gonna pay it?
Yep.
Wait,
Right.
I can tap that for you.
Hey, as a potion master, can I identify it so she doesn't have to pay the money?
Make an arcane check.
Okay, people, making an arcane check.
Thanks, Tim.
Rogue. Gem.
Natural 20.
Oh yeah, you know exactly what that is. It's a philosophy of love. It's a love potion.
Awesome. That
The
is
person who consumes it will immediately fall in love with the next person they see.
I get to play Cupid?
So can you put that on an arrow?
Totally Cupid. Totally Cupid.
And she flies. She's got flying boots too. That's amazing.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't get
quite.
the boots.
It's quite
Did I?
intriguing.
I feel like you need the boots and the arrow.
I
and
have
the
no money
Cupid.
for
What boots?
So cute.
Oh, the winged
Flying
boots.
How much were they?
4,550. 4,500, something like that.
Yeah. I'm in the negative.
Let me know if you can't read my chicken scratch. There is stuff on the other side too.
Yeah.
What was the price of that manta ray cloak?
Cloak of the manta ray is $22.50.
I'm trying to overcharge myself.
Yes. It's a crazy staff.
Did you fight the
I'll
beholder?
give you 60.
'Cause it was fucking crazy.
Towards it. Towards the boots. If that
And it had an
Everybody almost
eye
died
that
except
made all your magic items just go away.
Where I'm starting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm torn. Well, first off, I'd like to borrow 800 from the magic fund, or the general fund, if that's okay with everybody.
I'm sorry, why don't we just distribute 800 to everybody?
However you guys want to do it, if that's okay.
That bird.
Does anybody else need money from the general fund?
I took some for the thing
For the quiver?
with the guy in the place. Yeah.
Did you buy the quiver?
No, by the bow.
I don't know. What was it? Bow something, right?
How much was the bow net?
The oath bow.
Oath bow. Okay, I'm looking for it.
No, I think it's on the other side. Down at the bottom. No, I'm not the other side. I'm sorry. Bottom.
Oath bow, 32.50.
So how much do you need to borrow?
So I had 21.29.
About 1,100.
I'll say I mean we
Yeah.
you know I mean
That's gonna be great. Just like an extra fucking 9 die 6 or some shit. When you get things.
should we figure out what's
So everyone gets 11.21.
exactly what's the maximum somebody wants to borrow, and then everybody will get that amount.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I like
That's what I'm
That makes
Right.
it
I agree.
easiest.
Right.
I concur.
I like it.
Rabble.
Well, what else does somebody want to buy in here?
Joaquin brings in champagne. You guys are shopping in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite thrilled.
Yeah, we're gonna be spending some money.
Right.
Champers all around.
Well, I like that thunder and lightning staff. I have enough for it though.
Which one?
Cool staff with lightning and thunder. I don't have to borrow anything.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I liked it too, but
Oh well.
that throwing hammer is bad.
Do you want to borrow money?
I don't remember how much the throwing hammer was.
Tally, what about you? Are you feeling like you want to borrow money?
the healing one would be cool.
Yeah, it would be nice to have that in the
I'm not prepared to do that until I can look at the list, so I'm
Gotcha,
going
that
to wait
makes
for
sense.
next week.
Okay. So the max we want to borrow right now is what
11.
Leo needs, which is what? How much?
11.
11. So everybody gets 11.
Okay, so that would take off 6,600 from our general fund.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave my 11 in there. I don't need it.
Just take it. So that
Okay.
if you need it, it's not complicated in the future.
And that comes out of
The general fund.
11.21 by 5. Right?
Oh, I'm keeping track
6.
of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
6 people. Well, yeah, that gives me a little bit more. A little play money. You're gonna buy that staff?
Unless Lil wants it.
No, take it.
Yeah, I'll buy staff. Lightning and thunder staff.
It's fucking cool. It's badass.
Well, there's also a vicious short sword that does, when you roll a 20, you do an extra 7 damage.
I think that fucking the holy horde fucking longsword or whatever is gonna come in real handy if we have to go back to
It requires attunement by a paladin.
the sword does. Oh, I didn't know that.
Where do I write my oath?
Oh, mantle of
Do I
spell
write it here?
resistance. That's important.
Was
Yeah,
that
I
a
would
druid
write
that
it.
could use the healing thing?
No, a druid, a bard, or a cleric.
But we don't have a cleric. You're a bard? Are you one of you?
I'd write it down here in your equipment, and then I would write. I mean, I don't know what it does. Let's figure out what it does again, and then because it does a ton of shit.
Well, at least we have reference.
Huh?
We have reference.
Right.
Forever the healer.
I feel like we can heal without it.
Do you?
Well, I have plenty of healing spells. I already have mass cure wounds.
I don't know.
And I've got a couple of healing spells.
I have some cures.
So you bought the oath bow.
Yes. OATH or OAK?
OATH. Oath bow. So you designate an enemy, you get 1 enemy every 7 days.
I'm still carrying around this unicorn one.
Okay, what else did you buy? You bought the Cloak of the Manta Ray?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, I know. The nut. That's the shit right there, boy.
These nuts.
Don't mind me. Wanna be cool?
He doesn't like them.
I'm also interested in throwing.
You bought the staff?
I did. I bought the staff of thunder and lightning.
Such good business. I'm so glad you returned.
Yeah, we missed you, man.
Of course. I do wish to sit and hear your tale sometime. Does Tyrion want to buy anything?
I think Tyrion wants to buy something.
I don't want to buy that robe.
That Starlight one.
Mm-hmm.
The rubber magic missiles.
Well, that wouldn't be terrible either, but I was thinking about the one with the scintillating colors.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome. Stunning dudes is good. I have a sapphire. What can I sell this sapphire for?
It's a rough cut, 200.
All right, I'll take that too.
I have a unicorn horn.
Is that sapphire something that might come in handy to make a potion?
The sapphire?
Yeah.
No, but Tekla has a unicorn horn.
Oh.
You know that's used in many.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to sell that unicorn horn, Tekla?
Yeah, maybe. It depends on
Are you using
on your head.
It depends on how much it's worth, you know what I mean?
Say what?
I said it depends on how much it's worth as to whether I'm going to sell it.
Ring of jumping.
Triples your jumping movement.
Good night.
Night.
Right in the candy bowl.
Fair enough, Tristan.
Just one.
Love you, buddy.
Sleep well.
See you early.
Night.
The crack of dawn. Set your alarm, please.
I might do the same thing that Tally's doing and come back later. I don't mean to offend Jaoquin, but I just feel like I gotta make. I gotta think about it. Of course, dear. Of course.
Are you talking to yourself?
Will you text me what the lightning and thunder thing does? Because it does a bunch of things.
It's right here. Yeah. You want to take a picture of it?
Oh,
right?
perfect. I will take a picture.
It's right there and right there. It's awesome.
That won't be any good. But it causes attunement, and so does your pull.
I know. It's fine. I'll go back and forth. I don't mind. Take what? A couple of hours for attune, something like that, a day.
Short rest.
Short rest.
Freaking cool. I was gonna get it either. That's awesome.
There's a two-handed giant slayer sword. I mean, so are you gonna get anything, love? What time is it?
I kind of want to think on it too.
All right.
What time is it?
It is 11:41.
I think we'll call it up here tonight.
That's good.
All right.